All right, back in Boxing Manager. Let's give Anthony Rios a new contract if we can. Apparently he needs one. Give him a 5-fight. Undefeated cruiserweight, 6-0. Let's have a little look at his record. 6-5, big cruiserweight like we've said. Yeah, I don't know how many good wins he has. Don't know how many of these guys are actually good fighters. This guy's okay. He's 3-1 now. He was 0-0 when we fought him. This guy's 2-2. He's not that good. He's a brawler. He's at least a fun fighter. So when we send him to a new contract, this guy's definitely a cakewalk. I would say that he also just, yeah, this guy's terrible. So we signed him to a new contract, but he doesn't have a super strong track record. He hasn't really fought anybody either. But you know what? We're giving our guys some setups. That's how this works. I want the very best for my fighters, damn it. I want the very best for my fighters, and that means winning. That means not losing. That means not getting out here and not gaining XP points, because you don't gain XP points when you lose, because it's a Boxing Manager. And it's realistic. Everyone has to be undefeated somehow. There's a lot of bad fighters out there who are going to take a lot of L's. And we aren't going to sign any of them. Except for that one dude with that Amish name who we fired. Forget about him. Now we just catch dubs off him. Now we just get him off the street to lose. It's Wellington Daly again. Dale versus Daly. The most in-demand matchup of all time. Everyone asked. Everyone asked for Dale versus Daly. Dale versus Abrahamani. Yeah, you right. Alfredo Soria. Man, Alfredo Soria can fight, huh? Gennaro Delgado. I feel like we already fought him. Juan Villa. I feel like that's a fun main event. We could test Randy Dale. Randy Dale's pretty good. Guy's got a lot of power and no defense. This would be a fun fight. I'm kind of too tempted. I kind of want to do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. New main event. Kind of a fun fight. Who is Andy Conwell over there? Let me see Andy Conwell. Oh, they don't want to make that fight. Is he good? He's pretty good, yeah. From Manhattan, too. We can't sign him, though. He signed a CR fight team. Grr, other promoters. Grr. We don't like you, other promoters. There should only be one promoter, damn it. It's boxing. There should be one best promoter that everyone there really shouldn't be. Yo, the Don King era. Thank God Don King is out of the sport. Boxing started getting healthier the moment that Don King became completely fucking irrelevant. What a absolute thief, charlatan, and clown. Don King Simulator. Don't smear the name of Boxing Manager like that. Imagine if Boxing Manager had Don King on the cover. God, spare me. Spare me. These would both be good fights for Rios. We were just saying Rios hasn't fought anybody. Hutchinson might beat him. Alvarado also might beat him, though. I'd say Hutchinson is a much funner fight. It's likely we're handing Rios his first L here, though. But you know what? Let's be honest. A lot of these fighters here aren't really undefeated level good. And we've just got to make sure. Jesse Valle is a perfect win, though. I think we've already... Did Jesse Valle already fight? Did Irvin already fight him? No, he fought Monahan. All right, cool. Let's get another win off him. He's got a good record, but he's not good. So it looks good on your record, and it's not a very hard fight. Win-win. DeRocha, we said we were going to kind of let be a grinder. DeRocha, we're just going to let lose some fights, even if he wants to lose. We'll just put him out there in tough fights. Did he already fight Errol Etchard? That sounds like another guy we've already... No, we didn't. We haven't fought Errol Etchard. Oh, we thought about signing him. That's why. Yeah, and that's a good challenge fight for DeRocha. We're setting up a lot of fights where our guys could lose here, but I guess I'm feeling a little spicy today. Guess I'm feeling a little interesting today. Just feel like challenging my guys, except for Williams. This Leo Skircha character scares me. Let's get this unpronounceable guy in here. That looks like a fun fight. He could lose it, but he could also win it. Set up some good scraps. This is going to be a fun fight card. This is going to be a fun fight card for sure. It's so random which fights are 10-rounders. Why Why is the heavyweight one randomly the only 10-rounder? It's just so strange. What's this title fight here? Man, this is a good fight. Ryan Thompson, the pride of the UK, versus Hans Joachim Gebhard. That has to be Germany. There's Ascherberg. Ascherberg, yeah. Absolutely. Ned O'Sullivan Sports Management, though. He signed with an Irish promotion. All right, super welterweight title fight. Place your bets. Ryan Thompson is a good fighter. This is a good fight. Let's go fastest through the first round. First fight of the night, not one of ours. This is a pay-per-view, baby. Uh-oh. Joachim with a big round. I think it's 2-2. Joachim is putting it on Thompson. I mean, Joachim looked like the slightly stronger fighter based on attributes, but it's real close. They're real closely matched. Both have 20 chins. I don't like to take punishment from Thompson, though, right now. Not in love with it. Another even round. Yeah, Joachim just keeps piling up rounds, and Thompson's getting more and more tired. 14%. He's got to fight off the back foot. He's still got some energy left, though, and he just got a round win, so that's big on the scorecards. Thompson's trying to crawl back into this fight. Let's see what he does with the last of his energy reserves. No, that's not going to do it. And now Joachim's got a chance to just finish this thing here in the last couple rounds. He gets another round. He's just racking up the rounds, though. Even that one he won. Yeah, that's an easy Joachim win. 117, 110, 116, 111, 117, 110. For the new WBC IBF World Super Welterweight Champion, Hans Joachim Gebhard. Terrible name to say. Terrible name to announce. Gebhard. Awful. Get a better boxing name. Get a nickname. Whatever. He's the super welterweight champ. Don't wear it out. Can't make fun of him. We'll find you and beat the crap out of you. Look at Elias Thomas, pride of South Africa. This guy's a badass. This 7 punching. I talk all that shit about punching accuracy. The dude's got 7 punching accuracies, murking everybody. Superfly. Ragstar Wid, I was talking about him. I call him a demon from the depths of hell in one of the last episodes, and that has stood true. Ragstar Wid is, in fact, a demon from the depths of hell. It's Rastgar. Rastgar is an even more metal Viking name than that. KO'd 3 super good fighters in a row, including this guy with a crazy Thai name. Round 1 for Darter. Tough loss. Round 2, why is this a 10-rounder? 2 big round wins for Darter. I think we might start piling on pressure here. Oh, yeah. Nice knockdown. Get the win. Another knockdown. That turned into a one-sided ass whooping there. Good performance by Darter. New Jersey native with his 3rd career win. Randy Hart against Jose Fernandez. Got to favor Hart here, but he gets knocked down in the first round. It's only a 6-rounder, so I'm hesitant to go to cover up. He gets a round win there, doing some good damage. I think we plant our feet. I think we grow up here and plant our feet here. Just stand and trade with him and try to win. That didn't work. Boring round. We planted our feet and nothing happened. We stood right in front of each other and tried to trade, and they didn't punch. Can we win this round? No. All right, I'm starting to get worried here. I think we're going to go to the body. And then we're going to pile on pressure and see if that's enough to win. He might have dropped 3 rounds, though. Is it enough? Wow, weird scorecards. Split decision win for Randy Hart, thankfully. One of those judges scored that fight real weird. He had it 57-56 for Fernandez. How do you justify that? I guess he gave Fernandez the first round for the knockdown, which I absolutely understand. Maybe he gave him a 10-8 for the knockdown, and then gave him round 4 and round 3. Maybe not a 10-8. Who knows? I mean, there is a conventional scoring wisdom in real boxing that says that you just give a 10-8 for any round with a knockdown, no matter what the losing fighter did, which I've always kind of thought was weird and wrong. But I think you are supposed to score it that way. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Nice first round for Irving Fitch over Intege. This is a gimme, though. I don't like that he lost that round. Okay. I'm going to go on fast here just because this is an interesting fight to me right now. I don't know why he's not winning. And Intege's getting another round in here. Nice comeback for Fitch. Doing significant damage here to Intege and his energy. Winning the round as well. But it's an action-packed round. He's taking shots, and he hasn't landed any big power shots. Trying to get Intege in death by 1,000 cuts, kind of. But that was a good round. He did go to the body. He did get that energy down way significantly, and he's going to have a good chance to just layer on the pressure here in the final 2 rounds of the fight and try to clutch a win. Because these are the rounds that really matter and the rounds that really count. And there's the big shots landing from Fitch, who's going to try to finish here to close off round 5, but he can't. We're definitely piling on pressure. We've got Intege on the ropes here. We can't let him steal a round, though, because that could tie the fight. There we go. Fitch coming back and storming into the lead. But again, a couple combos from Intege. Not anymore. Now we've got him back on the ropes. I mean, he's trying to get back into it. He's standing on his last legs here. It's not enough. He really could have gotten back into that last round and tied that fight and made it 3-3. And Fitch really had to stand his ground and do damage there at the end of the last round. That fight was low-key a little closer than it probably should have been. Rice versus Ruiz. This is a good fight. 6 rounds with Superfly. We're going to watch this on fast because I think this is going to be a fun one. And we like Max Rice. Max Rice is a fan favorite for sure already here in this save. Big round 1 for Max there. Hopefully we get a bigger round 2. We're chasing him already. We're chasing Ruiz already, chasing the KO. Nah, there's some big power shots. He's trying to make it a fight. 3 big shots. That's a little scary whenever he lands 3 big shots on you. Really getting himself established, even with the damage done to him, Ruiz here. Always tough fighting a Mexican, man. Never fun. Never fun. And it's an even fight here heading into round 3. Could have been a smart time to go to the body. That probably would have been the time to go to the body in the fight, but he starts off jabbing and comboing. No, we get back in the lead. Good job. He comes back, though. 9-9, 11-9. We land a power shot. 25 seconds left in the round as Rice begins to combo off and closes the round strong with another big shot. And that's a Max Rice round. And it's a 2-1 lead. And I say we pile on pressure. I just want some headshots in there. Body work is fine, but I want some headshots. And Max Rice really is piling on pressure. A big round so far for Rice before Ruiz starts to come back. Nah. Rice plants his feet. More big shots. More power shots. Getting Ruiz's KO percentage up there before he does strike back. Big cut in his forehead, but Ruiz might be back forward and ahead in this round. Rice didn't do much in the last minute and a half of that round. He really came out storming in that round and then didn't finish the job. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Ruiz winning that round, which is what the game said. Rice apparently has a big cut on his forehead. That could have affected him in round 5 there. This is an even fight, and I don't like that. I think I'm going to stay natural style. Oh, it is only round 5. So let's just see and assess. I mean, if we have a chance to go for broke or pile on pressure in round 6, we may do it. But Ruiz is still making this a fight here against Rice. Rice is landing the power shots. And that encourages me when it comes to scoring. And he's winning this round, but he blew the last round, and he's got the potential to blow this one too. He's got a cut under his right eye and a big cut in his forehead. I think he won that round. They say very little between the fighters because of Ruiz's ring control, and that makes me worry that one of the idiot judges is going to give that round to Ruiz for his ring control, just for the ring control. I mean, Rice is so clearly winning this fight. It's not even funny. But like some dumb judge is going to be like, well, Ruiz had ring control and Rice has those big cuts, so he's showing more damage, so I'm going to give the fight to Ruiz. Like, you never know with boxing judges. Even in a simulation, even when they're a computer, even when they're not even real judges, you can't trust them. I'm telling you, the year will be 5,650, and there will still be bad boxing decisions. There have probably been bad boxing decisions since the days of ancient Greece and Rome. If they even had decisions back then, if fights could even go to decision, which I kind of doubt they could. As Rice, he almost stood on his head and clutched that last round, and then he just gave it away. But you know what? The judges are lenient. It's 3 very different scorecards, but they're all in agreement. It's Max Rice who won that fight. Thankfully. It's just too much power shots, too much pressure. But that was a very fun, entertaining, back-and-forth bout. I was right to predict a fun fight. And Max Rice is growing a reputation here for fun fights. Even with that loss on his record, I can't be bothered to care. He's one of the funner fighters in the promotion, and he's dang projectable as well. Let's add some ring IQ. Ooh, and we can add more stuff. Let's do defensive. Let's do defensive. Let's make sure Max Rice actually gets some wins. Let's do defensive. I don't want you hitting me. Jermaine Ramos versus Eric Soto. Eric Soto. Oh, what am I doing? This is going to be a good fight, though. Hopefully. I mean, unless Ramos just starts it. He might. This might be a faster fight. I might have made a mistake doing this fight on fast. This might need to go on faster, because this could be a beatdown. Soto showing something. He's still taking way too much damage. Big cut. Ramos could end this in round 1. Yeah, let's go on faster. That might be the best round that Ramos has. That Soto has in this fight. Oh, we forgot to go faster again, but we're doing pile-on pressure. Just show him who's boss. We showed him who's boss in round 1. Now let's really show him who's boss. Go back to the well of kicking this dude's ass. Yeah, we are doubling him up on strikes now. I was about to say almost, and then we came back forward. We were losing that round by a bit, but it ends up being a big round for Ramos again. Now we're going to go back to fastest, because this is pretty much over for Soto. Soto's in a lot of trouble. Just like Juan Soto today at Yankee Stadium, his first game back. All the fans turning their backs and booing him. I mean, I'm a big Yankee fan, but for me, I was a little more despondent during that whole saga, to be honest with you. I never really thought Soto was going to stay. It seemed kind of too good to be true that he was even there to begin with, and I think it was just more of a good omen for last season. I'm more of a pessimistic Yankee fan, in that I see last season as being, like, fortunate that we even, like, made the World Series, you know? I think that for most of my Yankee fandom, which I became a Yankee fan in 2004 when I was little, the 2004 ALCS against Boston, which I was going to say that tonight, the Knicks winning Game 6 and advancing to the conference finals, which I still can't believe I'm saying, is New York's biggest sports victory over Boston since 2004. That's not true. I would because of the Super Bowls. But since the Super Bowls, for sure, that's the biggest New York sports win against Boston. Red Sox have knocked the Yankees out of the playoffs. Maybe just once. No, maybe twice. Maybe twice since then. I think it was just 2018. 2018 is the one I really remember, where it was that division series where we just were awful. Anyway, I'm going to stop going on and on about baseball, guys. I'm sorry. We're going to finish this fight. There's a win for Ramos. Not a KO. He knocked him down. Soto got up at 8. That was a rough fight for Soto. Soto must have had a nice first professional win. He got introduced to the professional ranks the hard way there. And it's Andy Fitch versus Gun Crusher. That's how you market an event. Sold out. You're dang right it's sold out. This is kind of going to be a banger. Let's take a minute before this one, because this is kind of going to be a banger. I'm going to go get a drink and be back in a minute. This is going to be some high entertainment. Andy Fitch versus Gun Crusher. This might be the first fight I do ring announcements for. Yeah, let me get a drink. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the ring announcements for this one. All right, if we're doing a fighter intro for Andy Fitch, we got to give him a nickname. But here we go. Fighting out of the blue corner, representing Baltimore, Maryland, United States, holding a professional record, 7 wins and 0 losses, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Presenting to you, Andy Flick of the Switch Fitch. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Clap, 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 clap. Fighting out of the red corner, representing Jakarta, Indonesia. His professional record stands 14 wins, 6 defeats, with 6 wins coming by way of a knockout. Line up the firing squad. It's the Gun Crusher. Woo! Love that one. Hope we can have that guy back for more. Everybody loves the fucking Gun Crusher. Half the population of Indonesia showed up for this bitch. Half the population of Indonesia came for Gun Crusher. I know it says that there's only 2,000 people here. There's about 200 million people outside the venue. Don't look. Start the fucking fight. They're hungry. They're hungry for a big Gun Crusher KO. They're hungry for Gun Crusher to give Andy Fitch not only the first test of his career, but quite possibly his first professional loss. We love running these risks. We love these big, high-risk fights for our actually good prospects, especially against opponents like Gun Crusher, who they can actually beat. Round 1. We're doing this baby on fast. 10 rounds at middleweight. Let's get it on. Ding, ding, ding. Whoops. Show you all the stats. Ooh, he's kicking his ass. The Gun Crusher ain't crushing no guns right now. He's getting whooped. He's getting his ass beat. This is a one-sided beat down. I gave Gun Crusher that whole ass intro and he showed up like this. Bro, we're going to have Gun Crusher back if he fights like this, as in not at all. Yo, Gun Crusher came back to his corner. His trainer's just looking at him like, you can't see me, but you know what I mean. He's just like, what the fuck was that? Gun, Mr. Crusher, sit down here. What the fuck are you doing? Excuse me? 3 punches? What? I haven't... Ricky Hatton, are you there? Like, bro. Getting cooked. Adrian Broner, bro. I can't even lie right now. I'm getting cooked. That's Gun Crusher right now. Gun Crusher looking like AB against Maidana. My goodness. Embarrassing himself. Fitch didn't just about take that round. He did take that round. We probably should have piled on pressure there. Let's do it now. Let's just pile on pressure around late. Fine. Can Gun Crusher get into this fight? It doesn't seem like it. Fitch is taking the initiative. What Fitch just did there is impress me. That's what Fitch just did there. The winner by technical knockout, coming at 1 minute, 33 seconds of the 3rd round, Andy, the Flick of the Switch Fitch. It could be the Flick of the Switch, Andy Fitch. I like that a lot better. I think I'm going to do that in the future. It'll be the Flick of the Switch, Andy Fitch. You guys cannot like that name. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping Flick of the Switch. I like Flick of the Switch. Great AC/DC album. Underrated AC/DC album. There's probably some pervy old boomer song on there. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. It's AC/DC. They're all pervy old boomer songs. I'm not going to intro this one. This isn't that much of a banger. Tony Seals should honestly be able to take care of Corey Matisse. I don't really know why this is the main event compared to that last fight. I'm not betting on this. I mean, Tony Seals is going to win. I probably can't get very good odds. Oh, let's go fastest. That's what I wanted to do. Banger of a first round. Seals has some damage on him. I don't like this. Let's go cover up. I actually think it might be smart to counterpunch at this point, too. Man. All right, never mind. We're going on fast. This is a war. These guys don't like each other one bit. These guys don't like each other one bit. It looks like Tony Seals is handling business, but just barely. He's not handling business now. Round 4 belongs to Matisse. No, not anymore. Seals is not taking too kindly to that. He's trying to finish this thing now. 12 punches. He's really jabbing. Not a lot of power punches, but he's really landing. He's finding those gaps. Matisse has 8 losses for a reason, but he can clearly punch. Tony Seals with another round. He's probably up 4-0. It's a little risky to go pile on pressure. We can outbox him, so jab and move might not be stupid, but I'm telling you, I've made some dumb decisions with jab and move, especially against power punchers. You can go jab and move, you can really get caught and lose a fight. How far ahead are we on energy? Go to the body is all. I just don't want to get hit with a power shot. I'd rather just do natural style. Because we're also a good defensive fighter, so if I go natural style, like we probably won't get knocked out going natural style if we're a good defensive fighter. We really took a big lead in that round, but the lack of power punches, I mean, it's hurting Matisse, but it's hurting us more because we should have more power punches. And just as I say that, big shot to end round 5, and we pretty much got him down to nothing. If we're going to do a cover-up round, it would be this one. I don't want to take damage. I think counterpunching him is still smart. We're more likely to land power punches, and he's going to use that last 4%. And it's pretty likely that he's going to come out and try to combo off on us. And yeah, see, he tried. He landed a couple punches, and we just countered him right back. He tries to come forward, and we're just not giving him the space. He lands a couple power shots, but all his energy's gone, and now we can just sit on the pile-on pressure button for the rest of the fight until he's out of there. Corey Matisse put up a valiant effort there, but I'm a little more disappointed in Tony Seals, to be honest with you. I was very impressed by Fitch's performance tonight, but Tony Seals hasn't quite done that for me. It could be that Corey Matisse is a little better of a fighter than I'm giving him credit for. He does have punch accuracy, right? No, he's got defensive skills and power. We've got him on stamina, though, as we're seeing here. I want him to finish. I want Seals to finish. You've got all that punch power. You've had this guy pretty much in the orange since round 1. Just finish him off, no? Seals has a nosebleed now. This is a very even round. I don't know why this isn't easier. We're not finishing him. This is frustrating. He just ends up at 94 at the end of every round. I guess we're going to do natural style and then pile on pressure. He's not even throwing now. I mean, you had the guy on the ropes, and now Seals isn't even throwing. He just doesn't land consistent enough power shots. He's winning the fight, but he's not throwing enough power shots. There's a knockdown. Right as I say that, he knocks Matisse down, but Matisse has been tired and battered for a long time. He gets to his feet at the count of 9. That's probably not smart. Yeah, the ref's going to step in. He should have probably just laid down after that. As right as I say that Seals doesn't have the power shots, but he's winning the fight, he says, yeah, you're right, I am winning the fight, and knocks Matisse out. Matisse kind of died after round 4. He only had single-digit punches in every single round after round 4. He was just kind of getting his work in, just kind of going for a little light jog out there and throwing some jabs, to be honest with you. I mean, he had power punches. So I guess he was throwing some jabs and then maybe throwing it straight a little bit. And a jab can be a power punch. You're a professional, just step into it, right? Just throw a big jab. Just throw a big jab. That can be a power punch, no? Switch your feet like Terrence Crawford. Knock the guy's fucking head clean off. All right. Great show. Maybe we could do a main event with Andy Fitch. Let's wait a week. We could wait 2 weeks and put Tony Seals, but Tony Seals wasn't impressive. Let's just give Andy Fitch and David Flores a show. 24K and 18K. Not bad fan numbers. Not bad fan numbers. That's pretty cool that we've got fan numbers like that already. Rastgar Wid, one of my favorite fighters in terms of having a cool last name, is fighting Damon Molina, who's from New York. This is going to be a fun middleweight fight for a couple of the less significant middleweight straps. When is it? Next week? Cool. James Darter with 1 fight left. Do we re-sign him? I think we do. I think we should. Did we? Contract. Yeah. You know what? Let's only give him a 2 fight because he's like... Bro, he's James Darter. He's not that good. Small fan base. Let's give him ring IQ. He desperately needs it. You know what? 5 ring IQ is a lot more than 4. What can I say? That's the kind of biting analysis you come to NPC Gaming for. For real, that is the kind of biting analysis you come to this channel for. Next. Oh, we skipped that fight. That's a shame. Let's go see. It was middleweight, right? Results. Ooh, Molina knocked out Wade and gave him his first loss. Wow. Poor Rastgar. Poor Rastgar. All right, let's make this fight. Let's make this main event. All right, I like this one. Daniel Torres is a bad fighter with a good record, who Andy Fitch should dispatch very easily. He's bigger, but I don't care. So we're going to make that the main event. Oh, look, and we can pick from any venue in the world. The Function Room. We can pick from any venue in the world, and it gives us the Function Room. I don't want 500. I want more people than that. I would absolutely go to the Function Room for the memes if I didn't want to have more people in the building. What's the biggest venue we can even use? I'm good on 18,000. That seems a little... the Butte Civic Center in Butte, Montana, for absolutely no reason. Come on, let's go to Butte, Montana. Westchester County Center seems like the actual place. The Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. I wonder if that's a nice casino. The USS Hornet Sea, Air, and Space Museum. Are you kidding me? So many cool venues. The Motor City Casino in Detroit. The old New York Sports Complex. Okay. Let's do that one that I was talking about. Westchester County Center. The all reliable. The all reliable go-to. Only costs $4,000 to set this up. Let's see how many tickets we sell. This is a fun fight. The fights are getting funner and funner. The more wins that Andy Fitch gets. Tony Seals versus Gun Crusher. Are we really going to go right back to the Gun Crusher, Will? You know what? Yes. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Get in here, Gun. Get in here, Senior Crusher. Get the hell over to Westchester and get punched in the face for money. What is wrong with you? Why are you not doing that already? Shorty Anthony? Oh, come on. You know it's got to be David Flores versus Shorty Anthony. Shorty Anthony is a heavyweight. Wait, how tall is he? 6'4". He's 6'4". I think someone probably said that as a joke. Shorty Anthony. I don't really know that 6'4" is tall enough for people to be like joking about how tall you are. Maybe. It's pretty tall. Let's see. Gabriel McCreary. That's our fighter. Never mind. Austin Zarzar. Zarzar Binks, dude. We're fighting Zarzar Binks. It's just another classic card. Don't say I never did anything for you guys. Classic card after classic card. We are the premier boxing promotion. Never say I don't know how to promote. Jonas Tobias Tagaya. I'm giving you a name like Jonas Tobias Tagaya. Louis Tales from Fort William, Scotland. Fort William had the worst soccer team of all time. There's a documentary about Fort William's soccer team. They were in like the I don't even know what level of like the Scottish football pyramid. Some brutal, like just the bottom level. And even at that bottom, like amateur level of Scottish soccer, this team hadn't won in like, I don't even know, 50 games, maybe even worse, maybe like 150 games. It had been like genuinely years. Let me look up how long Fort William's losing streak was real quick. Fort William's losing streak was 73 games. That's incredible. That is an incredible amount of games to lose in a row. And we're going to set up Irvin Fitch versus Louis Tales. Irvin Fitch might not be as good as his brother Andy, but I think he can beat that guy narrowly. It'll be a good fight, though. McCreary's still trying to recover his career from that loss that he didn't really deserve. I just feel like giving him a few more setups. Joseph Baker seems a little extreme. 9-32. Couple debutantes here. They're both pretty good. Bobby Esco, the Canadian Nightmare. I'm good. Jesus Perez has a pretty brutal record and is also not even bad. You know what? I feel like he can beat Tommy Flores. That's the standard recommended boring matchup, but I feel like he can win it, to be honest. He's narrowly better. Stephen Conquest, yeah, he's going to conquest the super welterweight division, that's for certain. That dude is a future champ. He has kind of a lame name, though. Let's take Charles Jeter. 0-0. His last name's Jeter, so people will pay attention. He's probably related to Derek, right? I mean, that's enough to sell a fight, right? Am I wrong? No, it's not. Okay. Stop being a dumbass, and let's get these two title fights going. Rufat Muratov, the pride of Azerbaijan, WBC, WBA, IBF super lightweight title against Idrissa Binyahaya. Binyahaya, looks like. The current European super welterweight champion. I don't know where he's from, unfortunately. Oh, it looks like I think that's Turkey or Georgia. I don't want to be wrong. Maybe I can see more information in the fight screen. Doesn't seem like it. All right, you know what? Let's just run the fight then. Let's start it on fastest. You got to take Muratov here, even though it's a good one though, because Muratov's undefeated and Binyahaya has a skill advantage. So we'll see. This could absolutely be a close one. Big knockdown from Muratov though. Binyahaya has a good comeback round. Nah, Muratov stops it. Pretty dominant performance from him. Pretty impressive performance from him. That's a KO win for Muratov. All right. Got another title fight here. And the king of the Dominican Republic, Milciades Rosa. I said Rosa. And then Nicolas Quinteros from Buenos Aires. I don't think Quinteros is going to have anything to say to Rosa here. I think Rosa's a better fighter. He should win this world lightweight title, though. Big deal. Big fight. Yeah, Rosa out on the front foot. Ooh, gets knocked down. Big knockdown by Quinteros. Rosa pops back up at the count of 4. He's got some damage on him, though. Might have stepped back and won that round. Now they say Quinteros with more shots. This is a battle. We have more fights to get to, so I'm not going to go to fastest, but this is a banger. Big round for Rosa, but he takes damage. I don't like Rosa taking this much damage, but now it's Quinteros who's got the damage on him. It's another big round for Rosa. Rosa's taking hold of this fight, and he doesn't need a knockdown. He cuts Quinteros out bad. Big cuts all over his right side of his face, and the ref steps in and stops the fight. And yeah, it's just Rosa's ability to do big damage. Quinteros has the big shot and gets the knockdown, but Rosa continuously landing the power shots. Williams versus Albertisian. I think I nailed that. One. Williams versus Andranik Albertisian. What a name. Andranik Albertisian. It's a pretty baller name. Against Jose Williams, who I do like a lot. I don't remember if did he lose with our promotion? I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a crystal clear memory of him losing a fight with us. Nutty first round. If there's another round like that, the fight's probably over. So maybe we do go on fast, because that was crazy. Big start from Albertisian. Williams having to stand toe for toe. Landed big power shots, too. Connecting again. Big connections. It is another crazy round. No one's out of there. That's an Albertisian round, though. Could very well be 1-1. Who knows? I mean, pick them. They're going back and forth. Albertisian has ring control for what it's worth, but nobody's throwing. They're probably pretty tired after that first 2 rounds. There's a power shot from Williams. Backs up Albertisian. Got a lot of damage on him. It's more power shots. Williams is starting to throw, and wow. He just burst out in round 3. Albertisian got tired and gassed out, and Williams took care of business. DeRocha versus Etchard. This is a pretty even fight. I feel like Etchard... No, you know what? We thought about signing Etchard. This is a test for DeRocha. If he can at least show me something in this fight, I'm going to really start questioning his future. Because DeRocha, I don't care so much about his record, but if he can't beat this guy, I don't know. right? He needs to be able to beat at least this level of fighter for me to comfortably throw him on cards over and over and over again in the way that I'm thinking about doing, where I just put him deep down at the bottom of the card and have him fight a lot of different fights, fill events with fights with him on the undercard. I'm not really comfortable doing that if you're just going to lose every time. So he needs to show out against a guy like Etchard. Maybe not show out, but at least show that he's even with him, and he's doing that right now. He's beating him bad. Etchard's got a lot of damage on him. He's starting to stand up to DeRocha here in the middle of round 2. Yeah, he does get back into the round, but he's still got more damage on him. In fact, wow, DeRocha just pretty much stopped throwing. Etchard is kicking his ass. Etchard really just pops off on DeRocha there in the second half round. 33 punch round. 5 power shots landed. That ring control that he had really started to make a difference. It really converted into something, didn't it? Just another insane round. This one's DeRocha. I think we were covering up that round. We were. That makes me very nervous. I don't want to cover up again. Every time I've covered up back-to-back rounds. We have him on punch accuracy. Let's do jab and move. I don't know how well jab and move is going to work with the low defense fighter because I don't have that many fighters with like 4 defense on my roster like DeRocha. That is kind of a machination of it being the early save. I think later in the save we probably aren't going to have very many fighters with only 4 defense, and he's losing this round too. Etchard is winning this fight if he doesn't win it outright. It's more hard punches, but DeRocha's still in there. I'd say we do go for broke. DeRocha seems like more of a go for broke guy than a cover-up guy. Cover-up also isn't really that smart when you only have 4 defensive skills. So let's just do go for broke and see what he can do. But Etchard's probably just going to kick our ass again. He has shown a very keen ability to just kick the shit out of Kenan DeRocha that Kenan DeRocha has not showed the ability to kick his ass back. And he didn't really use the last of his energy there. I'd say we're going to have to smother inside, which is, I read basically as just clinch and give up. Hopefully we can land big shots on the inside. We are scoring punches on the inside. But, it's also to tire him out, which I know isn't really going to do any good because it's the last round, but it also gets us in close. That is a round win. I mean, in these 6-round fights, you can really cheat out a cheap draw. Nah, that didn't happen. Yeah, Etchard really distinctly won that fight. I don't know if that wasn't enough from DeRocha. I'm disappointed, but look, you can also say he won 3 rounds. He's a warrior. I want to see DeRocha in some 10-round fights. That was an interesting fight. That wasn't awful. I'm not, livid at DeRocha or anything. I think that was okay. Irvin versus Valle is going to be an interesting fight, or Valley. Not sure which one. I'm going to say Valle. He's from Knoxville, though. He might pronounce it Valley. Who knows? Irvin, that's an even round. I liked the first round. I don't like the second round. That's a good 3rd round. Irvin is kind of becoming Mr. Reliable. I know he's had tough fights, but he's clearly a good fighter. He's clearly at least competent. He's given Jesse Valle not just a run for his money, but a loss. Blood coming from his nose and then KOs him 64 to 7% energy. He really kind of ran circles around and made him look bad there. Anthony Rios versus Stephen Hutchinson, the cruiserweights. Undefeated Anthony Rios. This is a nice challenge for him. We were looking at him before. He hasn't really fought anybody. This is his first challenge, so we're for sure going to be watching this on Fast because I'm very interested here. We got to do a little scouting on our own guy. This could very well be the old-fashioned fraud check for Anthony Rios. Kind of hate that it's only a 6-rounder. Man, Hutchinson's already cut. I think Rios might be on that Antonio Margarito, that plaster in the midst shit. That's crazy. He cut him pretty much immediately. And Hutchinson's already dealing with something, already dealing with a little inconvenience here in round 1. And it's more power shots from Rios. Very definitive round 1 win for Anthony Rios there. Impressive start. boring start to the round before he just comes out and pimp slaps Hutchinson for the first power shot of the round. About 130 left. Now he's got 3 power shots on him. Just keeps landing. Big shot to the head. More punches. Hutchinson tries to come back, but there's nothing there. Rios is pounding him. Let's go to the body and just completely doom him. I mean, I want to see like 81 to like 15 here. I want you to just keep landing just like you were, but I want all the shots to be crippling body shots. I want this guy to not be able to like breathe or walk. Just cripple him. Nope. No. We're too far inside. He's landing shots on us now. We went too far into his range. He's whipping us. Don't like it. Don't like it. Natural style, please. Keep it even. Keep it even. We were good with natural style. We were winning with natural style. Oh, yeah. Big round control. Not throwing a lot of punches, but there they are. There they are. Rios likes to take it slow at the start of rounds. Control things. Control the pace. Yeah, another good round win. This is a very comfortable win here for Rios. Rios is beating this guy really bad. Let's go back. Go to the body didn't really work before. I don't know if we have the boxing. Go away. Go away. I don't know if we have the boxing for jab and move. Let's just do standard. He should get rid of all his energy on standard. Let's go fast through this round. Okay. Well, we were going to do pile on pressure in the last round anyway, so let's do that. There we go. Now, I can't believe they gave him any rounds. I feel like we absolutely dominated that fight, but okay. I guess they gave him round 4 just to be nice. Very convincing win for Anthony Rios. I'm not loving the knockout ratio for Anthony Rios if he's going to at least be like a star or a real contender in the cruiserweight division. You'd like to see him get a few more knockouts than that, but Cottrell's probably about to take care of Daniel Jordan. Anything can happen at heavyweight, but okay. Nice. Kind of a battle here, but Cottrell's on the front foot. Cottrell's probably about to win this. Let's do pile on pressure. It's a 10-rounder. No, okay. Never mind. It's not a 10-rounder. It's a 4-rounder. This fight's over. Ricardo Cottrell. Now 7-0 with 5 knockouts. How much of a heavyweight contender could we have on our hands here if we play this development right? We shall see. The stamina might be a little low. The take punishment is definitely low, and the on canvas Jesus is definitely low for a heavyweight. He's just a brawler too. Kind of hard to see a guy classified as a brawler becoming a heavyweight champion. This is a good challenge here for Randy Dale against a good Mexican fighter in Juan Villa, a good young Mexican prospect in Juan Villa with big punch power. He doesn't have good punch act or defensive skills, so that bodes well. I like our punch accuracy advantage. We're going to be able to punch him a lot more and a lot better than he's going to be able to punch us. Tell me this is a 10-rounder. This deserves to be a 10-rounder. I don't like that it's a 6-rounder, but it's going to be a fun 6-rounder. Let's start it off. Big first round, and Villa's working. Villa has proven to be a challenge already. Dale comes back. It's a very even first round, but I'd say that so far Villa's showing the advantage. More big shots. Getting through Dale's guard. Worrying first round there for Randy Dale. We're going to keep it on natural style and see if he comes into his own. He starts the round okay. He's got a cut over his left eye. First power shot of the round lands halfway through, but there's Villa back with one. Villa lands a combination. Villa lands another combination. Dale tries to come back, but that's a Villa round. And let's go to the body. Let's go to the body and try to even this thing back up. That's what I say. But big shots by Villa. We made a mistake coming into his range, and that might be it for Randy Dale's undefeated record. I see he's getting battered on by Villa here, and now he's lost 3 rounds to him. Almost feel like now I have to do something like pile on pressure. We have punch power, so if we're desperate at the end, we could try to go for KO, but man, Villa's just winning this fight. Villa's just winning this fight. We're finally landing some heavy shots here, but who knows how long it's going to last. There's some big shots. Dale's doing good work. Villa's not throwing as much. Villa's losing volume. I mean, hey, that's a way in for us if Villa doesn't throw as much. If Villa just stops throwing punches, that's a way into the fight for us. Pile-on pressure's looking pretty good right now. It's an even round, though. Pile-on pressure, I feel like it didn't work for us before. Villa's got 2 cuts, though. Loud car outside. Villa's got a cut under his left eye and on his forehead, and it's a huge, aggressive round there for Randy Dale. Maybe they could have given him a 10-8, but 25 scoring punches, only 2 power punches, but it's still a dominant round win. So this is a very, very even bout here. I'm very not sure what to do. Let's do natural style. Let's just do natural style. He's on the front foot. He's leading the fight. No, that's not what we're doing. We're going for broke. Screw it. 1 life. Come on, Randy Dale. Prove you're a champion. Go all out. This fight's been a good fight so far. It's been a little too tactical for me. I want this last round to be a war. Gets him up against the rope, starts landing on him. That's right. We have the only power shot. Can he strike back? He can. He can. And he got that last round, stole it from us. There's no way we're winning that fight now. As Villa comes back right at the end of the last round and starts landing and gets the fight and clinches the fight for himself. That's a tough 6-round loss for Randy Dale. But Randy Dale, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who might become that road warrior. He's starting 4-0, so I'm sort of inclined to think of him early in his career so far as a guy who could potentially be a contender. But when I look at that 9 defensive skills, this is a guy who could get up into the rankings and really just make life hard for some of the contenders in the middleweight division. Realistically, I'm talking realistically. Like he could become a top 10 even middleweight one day and be a guy who gets thrown out there. Maybe he's got some losses on his record from that 9 defensive skills, but his other skill set it really is strong enough, especially if we develop it right. Get that stamina up, get that punch power up, get that defense to a manageable level. He could become a fringe contender to a real contender. But at my very least expectation for Randy Dale, even after this loss, is that he's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with good fighters in the division. Because Juan Villa is at the very, very worst an approximation of a good fighter in the division. He's got good punch power, good aggression, good chin, great stamina. But the punch accuracy and the defensive skills just betray him a little bit. But that didn't show in this fight. The punch power made up for it. And that 11 ring IQ against Randy Dale's 12, I guess, was enough. That was a very fun fight. And Dale, I think, paid for paying a little too much attention in that 5th round and not enough in the others, and especially not at the end of the 6th. There was a good closeout performance by Villa too. And interestingly enough, I'm going to give DeRocha an extension, even though he's 1-2. Not, you know what? And he's got 2 fights left. Never mind. Forget I said anything. And we've got a big world heavyweight title fight for the IBF and WBO straps between previously observed Heinz Lessman of Germany and James Ray, who I talked about as probably the best current heavyweight in the world. When I looked at the heavyweight rankings, James Ray is the guy who stuck out to me as probably the best heavyweight of them all. The guy who I would say, at least the best who didn't currently have a belt. So now he's at least fighting for 2. Let's see how he's done since the simulation started. Yeah, he's got 3 wins. He won the North American title and defended it. He deserves some kind of belt. He's real good. And we're going to watch him fight. World heavyweight title. We're going to start. You know what? Let's do the first round on fast because it's 2 undefeated heavyweights in a heavyweight title fight. So we're going to do the first round and actually watch it. Quick 1-2. Leisman comboing off. Ray gets back. About a minute left now. The fighter's working center ring. Ray lands a big punch. Quick shots to the body from Lessman, who I think took that round. Entertaining first round, but we're going to go fastest here. we've got our own fights to commentate on. That's an even second round. Lessman with a cut under his eye, 2 cuts under his left eye, Ray with a big cut in his forehead. So they're damaging each other with big shots. Unsurprising for 2 really good heavyweights, but it's been kind of medium volume, medium pace. It's not frenetic. It's another pretty even round that you probably give to James Ray, who's showing his ring generalship here. That second round was real close. Could be real important in scoring, but remember, it's a 12-rounder, and James Ray takes the fight by the horns there, 23-4, and now he's leading big. Gotta favor James Ray now, as Lessman bursts out to a lead. And it's still even. Ray badly outlanding Lessman. Yeah, Ray is outboxing Lessman here. Ray is taking the fight to him. Lessman managed to grab that 5th round, but Ray is easily ahead. And there's the KO. Wow, he just knocked him out. 31-0 with 28 knockouts. I didn't expect that. But that cumulative damage, those big power shots, and just overall, his ability to throw volume, absolutely tremendous. But it speaks to the quality of each of the fighters, that the rounds that each of them won, they really won. Every fighter really won the rounds that they won. So, I mean, I guess you could have given that second to Ray, like I said. But, I mean, when Lessman won rounds, he stood up and really won them. And when Ray won rounds, he really stepped up and won them. And he finished that fight emphatically on the 7th. That was a heavyweight title fight, all right. And James Ray finally has his world titles. And we've got some cool champions in the sport right now. Awesome to see Johnny Donovan up there at the top. Let's take a peek at the pound-for-pound rankings. How about it? Johnny Donovan, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. That is correct, at least based on my observation. He is a tremendously entertaining fighter. Milciades Rosa, a second. He's got 1 loss. It wasn't in the sim, though, so can't take that away from him. John Pazzi, 3rd overall, the Pride, Tanzania. That's kind of crazy. He doesn't really have the attributes to be 3rd pound for pound, but he beat Teddy Molinar, so what can you say? Joseph Manigo, a really good candidate here for pound for pound. He's going to end up with a crazy record because he's 34-0 at 23 years old. So he's probably going to retire with some absolutely crazy record, especially if he can keep that loss column small. It's really hard to stay undefeated in this game, though. I would argue maybe even harder and rarer than real boxing. It's really hard to keep a fighter undefeated. There's a lot of undefeated fighters in the sim, which I'd say is more realistic of real boxing. There's a lot of guys who are undefeated and have up there sort of number undefeated records. Mehdi Yusupov is too low. 16 is way low for Yusupov. That's crazy, the disrespect. They're really liking the flyweight and super flyweight and strawweight divisions, though. Lots of those guys in the pound-for-pound rankings. Emil Rosen, I agree with. We haven't gotten to watch one of his fights yet. Has he fought for a belt? Yeah. He knocked out Raven Santig, which is an awesome name, in 4 rounds for the IBF WBO straps. Okay. And we've got Yusupov versus Velez on the 8th of March. That should be a good title fight. That's next week. That's going to happen before any of our fights. Okay. We should do some scouting here in a minute. We should do some scouting. I wonder if we have any spots open at the gym even. But it's time for Yusupov versus Velez. More title fights. This is going to be a close one, man. Oh, it's from the United States. Okay. Oh yeah, he's the guy from the San Juan in California. That's right. Okay. And then Sardar Yusupov of the brothers Yusupov, who just had that awesome victory over Razaturli. All right, let's see if he can follow it up with another big win. We're absolutely going fastest. Yep. Man, big round for Yusupov. Another big round for Yusupov. Big KO. That's a 33-0 record now for the WBO World Super Welterweight Champion Sardar Yusupov. John Velez didn't have anything to say. He couldn't show up for San Juan. Big Sharks fan, that guy. You're going to show up for San Juan, Puerto Rico, California. And James Darter, quote unquote, needs a new contract. Nah, both Darter and DeRocher are not in the wind, in the air, shall we say. In the wind would imply a little more instability. They've got 2 fight contracts. 1 fight left on the contract would be in the wind. Let's do some scouting. We do. We have 1 spot at this gym, so let's scout. Ooh, this guy's good out of Lubbock, Texas. Not a lot of punching power, but just about everything else. I don't like the 9 intelligence. 0 fans. Well, you know what? He's not signed anybody. So that'll happen. That guy's from New York, but he's god-awful. Hylon is a weird name. There was a fighter named Hylon in my last save, though I remember now. Hylon De Luca. He was my first, I actually remember he went undefeated for a really long time. I remember that. He was really good. I signed him, and he had 20s everywhere. All of his ratings were off the charts, and I was like, does he have to be named Hylon, though? Is that, offensive? Is there some, powerful, spiritual significance to the name Hylon or something? If you're named Hylon watching this, what's up? I don't mean any offense at all. It's an interesting name. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue to me, though. By the way, Tenochtitlan Cruz mentioned. The greatest fighter of all time. Well, I've made my decision. I'm going to sign that guy up at top if he wants to sign. Patterson, New Jersey. I think that's where Derek Jeter was born, speaking of Jeter. Reynaldo Jenkins. Ooh, look at Jose Valero. I like the low aggression, though. I like the 7 aggression if this is your skill set. 11 punching accuracy isn't awesome, but I'd say he's a better fighter than that other guy. Does he want to sign with us? No. Yeah. He wants a manager with a title record. That makes a lot of sense. I would too if I was that good. Lewis Given isn't a bad consolation prize. Doubt he wants to sign. He doesn't. He wants a manager with a title record. That's a little bit of a haughty expectation. So let's try to take Lamont Williams. He's really small for a featherweight. He doesn't take punishment well, and he's not good enough defensively to make up for it, but he's got a lot of stamina, which makes sense to me. He's from Philly. He runs to the Rocky soundtrack, so we'll sign him. 3-fight deal. Not the best fighter to sign, but let's see what he's got in the tank. But when there's that many good fighters out there, as there probably are here, and we've got this many mid to honestly kind of below mid fighters on our roster, we're going to have to be pretty liberal with cuts. I think, sad as it is, Keenan DeRocha, we might just not have the room for him. He's really going to have to impress me whenever his next fight is. No, we're just going to keep going and schedule maybe a couple events in 2 weeks after this one. Cool little rankings update. Andy Fitch, regional rankings up to number 20. Tony Seals up to 26, so that's awesome. Anthony Rios up to 28. Good to see that kind of progress. Good to see that level of progress. Like seeing our guys ranked up that high up in the top 20. Let's see. Just streaming them, seeing them up in those belt rankings. Those belt rankings, the WBO, the WBA, the Ring Magazine rankings. Maybe even the pound for pound one day. This is such a blast of a game, man. This is such a fun game. Oh, they don't show their pound for pound on the top. They should. That should be a thing. They should show their pound for pound ranking up there if they have one. Very special thing to have. Maybe like a gold number somewhere on the screen. Randy Hart versus Charles Jeter. Hart should Absolutely beat the crap out of Jeter here. This should be an easy fight for Randy Hart to start the night. Randy Hart's a talented guy. He should win this one. Oh, yeah. Well, he evened us out on punches. Okay, that's not great. We need a big round here. I'm going to switch your strategy. We do. This is a close fight. Charles Jeter's kind of giving us a scrap here. I'm gonna pile on the pressure. Yes, sir. Keep pounding on. Keep pounding on. First punch knockout. He landed 6 punches on us, and then we just slapped him to the ground. Randy Hart, KO. Charles Jeter, an unpleasant professional debut. A challenge of a professional debut, but an unpleasant professional debut nonetheless. McCreary v. Flores. McCreary with that punch power. Even fight, 1 round each. Man, you know, McCreary is an interesting fighter here. Big cut over his right eye. He just kind of has an inconsistency. I think it's from that low takes punishment. No. Low takes punishment just, it's not, it's what it sounds like. It's not good. I'm just going to cover up. I don't like seeing that number be orange. He's still just taking punishment. We're a better boxer. Let's jab and move. It's probably not a smart idea against a guy with 20 punching accuracy, but what can you do against a guy with 20 punching accuracy? That's what I'm saying about punching accuracy. You just have to be careful with it. As Tommy Flores beats Gabriel McCreary. Gabriel McCreary is too talented for me to cut. That's sort of the problem. He can kind of keep losing. Oh, is he still here? Yeah, he's still here. He's got 1,000 fans. He's too talented. I just can't bring myself to cut him. This left column right here is just awesome to look at. You don't like the takes punishment, but I mean his chin isn't even cracked. It was a TKO. He's still got a 17 chin. He's still tough. He's got 20 defense. Got 20 punching power. Fighters like that don't grow on trees, man. Let's see what Irving Fitch can do. I mean, this is a really even fight. Let's just stay natural style. I don't know why this is a 10-rounder or why he popped off on us so hard in the first round. He really took that shit personal in the first round. We got to go to the body. We've got such an energy advantage. I feel it'd be stupid to do anything else. Nice. And now we can just pile on. Now we can just pile on that pressure. Yes, sir. Another win for Irving Fitch, who low-key stays undefeated. Irvin. There's no G. Irvin Fitch, who low-key stays undefeated. And that's what you can do when you've got good defensive skills and good stamina. Yeah, punch accuracy is important, but good stamina and good defense go a long, long way in this game. Long, long way. Ask Floyd. Ask Floyd, ask Sugar Ray. Man, big, big round for Zarzar. For Zarzar Binks. That 20 aggression, making him come out strong. We need a big round, too. It's another big round for Zarzar. And let's go to fast as Jermaine Ramos tries to keep his undefeated record against Mr. Binks here. What do we do? Punch power. This is kind of bold. But just because he's so good defensively, we're going to look for KO. That's kind of crazy. We're opening ourselves up. But I want to see Ramos try to knock this guy out. I want to see Ramos try to throw power shots. There we go. They're in there. We're getting those power shots in there. We really need to do something to make a difference in this fight, though. Zarzar's still landing. There's more big shots at the end for Ramos, and we get a round win. So going for KO worked. He's got 20 aggression. If we weren't at 75, I would go to the body. Interestingly enough, instead, I'm going to cover up. I think cover up, especially against a high aggression fighter, with our power, we can land some big counter punches. And so far, we're just piecing him up. And there's the knockdown. He didn't throw a single punch. We didn't have to counter punch anything. He didn't throw anything. We are killing him in cover up. Yeah, that's smart. I might even stay on cover up. Never mind, we knocked him out. Man, cover up was a good decision against that guy. Makes a lot of sense, though. He doesn't have good punch accuracy. He doesn't have good punch power. He doesn't have good ring IQ, and he's got high aggression. So, honestly, we've got good punch power and better ring IQ. So, if you're not following, what just happened was he charged at us blindly like an idiot. and we just absolutely capped his ass. Jar Jar Binks is lying dead on the floor. Jar Jar Binks has been found dead in Miami, bro. And Jermaine Ramos has been found on his fucking yacht with a 6-fight contract extension. The yacht that he bought with his $877 a fight contract. We've got 3 more fights tonight, paying these guys pennies. Fighting for pennies, fighting for peanuts. That semi-pro shit, the semi-pro circuit. Let's be real. We are not in the elite level yet. We're going to get there, baby. We are going to get there. It's David Flores versus Shorty Anthony, motherfucker. So get it on. You know you wanted to see this one. You know you wanted to see David Flores versus Shorty Anthony. The streets were begging for it. The streets, the hood, all the people that really know boxing, all the Adrian Broner fans out there, they were all begging and pleading for Flores versus Anthony. That's a Flores round. Let's speed it up. I feel like Flores is going to beat this guy, and it's going to take a long time because it's a David Flores fight, and he's not that exciting. He's like John Ruiz back in the 90s. Big, kind of average heavyweight who fights boring fights, but wins. Go to the body. He knows how to win. What can you say? Natural style. Pile on that pressure. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tony Seals taking it to Gun Crusher with a 30-punch first round. We should have had it on fast for that. That was impressive. Let's keep it on fastest for now. If Gun Crusher gets back into the fight, though, you can bet your bottom dollar we're watching it. Nah, I think Seals is just going to crush the Gun Crusher here. Not go to the body. Pile on, win it. Yep. Great performance by Tony Seals, our first 9-0 fighter. Very impressed by Tony Seals. I haven't had to worry about anything with him. He's probably actually been our most consistent performer. I feel like I haven't really had to worry about anything with him. Let me see. Wasn't his last fight a little sketchy? I think about it. He's 19. He's 9-0 though when he's 19. The Corey Matisse fight was a little sketchy, but he's also got a good record. I mean, look at this. He's fighting good guys too. He's from New Jersey too, dude. Tony Seals. Tony the Steel Seals, maybe? The Steel, because he was a Steel. Got him for cheap, and he's a freaking legend. I mean, the guy can absolutely scrap. Daniel Newman wasn't a great win, but it looked okay at the time. Dwayne Judah, also not a great fighter, but a name you know, a name you recognize. Christian Thompson, I don't care, I like that win. Y'all can all hate on him, but the Corey Matisse win was definitely actually good. That was actually a fun fight. I know he's mid. I get it. That was a fun fight. You remember that. And then Gun Crusher. I mean, this guy can fight, man. Tony Seals can scrap. I don't want to hear you hating for 1 second. He's getting a brand new contract. I'm giving him an 8 fight, man. He's 19. I don't want to have to worry about him. I mean, he's our main guy. Him and Andy Fitch are kind of battling it out for who's our main guy. Rios is good. Flores is impressive, if a little boring. Cottrell, I just feel like doesn't have much of a future, to be honest. I know that sounds weird, but he's knocking people out, and he can be fun, but he's more of good than fun, and he's just good for this level. I feel like what I'm really trying to say is I feel like there's gonna be he's got a ceiling. He's got a ceiling, and I can kind of feel it coming on. And I don't like saying that about a fighter, and I don't like saying that about a heavyweight especially. He's got a big chin. He can take punishment, but he's also too aggressive for that bad defense. I feel like he's going to get clipped at some point, unfortunately. Going to find himself staring up at the lights. The ref putting his fingers in his face. Everything's all blurry. Waking up in the hospital. He's going to wake up in the hospital one morning, I feel like, unfortunately, Cottrell. Speaking of waking up in the hospital, Daniel Torres just fucks up Andy Fitch in the first round. Andy, buddy. I was just saying we got to find our main fighter. This is not how we're doing it. This is not how you become that guy. This is not how you become our main guy. I'm going to cover up here. That might be the right decision, like it was in that last fight. Oh, yeah. Big round there. This is kind of a war, though. I've been impressed with Torres. But the real thing about Torres doesn't have much to throw back. He just takes punishment. And I say as he throws a bunch of punches. Let's just pile on. And we're going to do fast. I kind of feel go for broke. Because we're so much better than him. And it's completely even. Go for broke just tells us, like, initiate something. Use your hands. It kind of forces Fitch to use his boxing talent, which is the advantage he has on Torres. And it encourages him to punish Torres, which we need to hit Torres with more, and we're not doing that right now. That's frustrating. Excuse me. That's frustrating. That's a big round for Torres when we did not need that to happen. And now it's going to go natural style, and it just feels like luck of the draw. But Torres is ahead in this fight, and Andy Fitch's record is hanging by a string here. And he gets a knockdown. Look at that. Fitch, the power, making all the difference. Oh, and Torres gets to his feet. Now this is a close fight. But it's more big shots from Fitch, but Fitch is still the one with more damage on him, and Torres is still throwing. Man, this is a classic. We got 2 more rounds of this thing. What a crazy fight. This is fight of the night for sure. This is fight of the night for sure. What do we want to do here? This is really tough. I'm kind of frozen here on my strategy decision because I feel like whatever decision I'm going to make is wrong kind of thing. Go for broke didn't work that well. I don't think we've... Let's just do pile on pressure. Screw it. He's at 0%. Let's just try to pile on pressure. We did a good job piling on pressure in that last round without even trying to. Let's actually tell him to do it this time. How about that? And that's a big round from Fitch, but he's still taking damage. Fitch. But he's still taking damage. And I mean, these punch stats are just as even as it gets. And we're going to fall back to natural style here for the last round. But it's Torres who starts with the initiative, but he's got more damage on him. But he seems to be winning this round. This is such a close fight. As Torres continues to land, Fitch coming back here at the end. No power shots, though. And that's a round win for Torres. Fitch with the only knockdown. And this fight is a draw. If you think we aren't running that back, this thing is getting run back faster than frickin' Usain Bolt. A tape of Usain Bolt played in reverse. That's how fast this thing is getting run back. A terrible joke. Might even have to re-record that. But Jesus Christ, this thing is getting run back fast. You are getting another Andy Fitch versus Daniel Torres fight. Guaranteed. Pay-per-view. For free. We got to remember Daniel Torres. Does Daniel Torres have an injury? 7 weeks. So there's sort of a possibility we can run it back unless Torres schedules a fight in that 3-week interim between when he gets off the injured list and when Fitch does. We got a lot of injured fighters after that night of action, though. It's what you like to see. Lots of wins and lots of injured fighters. But for sure disappointed in McCreary, and a little disappointed in Fitch to see that he doesn't have an untouched record now. But it sort of shows Tony Seals as being the best fighter, which he definitely is at this point. Tony Seals is for sure the best fighter on our roster as of right now. A jet ski. There you go. I'm stupid, man. I forgot jet ski. Again, I'm not from Florida. I'm from New York. What was the last time I was around a jet ski? Ain't nobody jet skiing in New York. Not that there's any actual wildlife in the rivers to kill. What fish are you killing jet skiing in the East River, bro? The radioactive shits with like 3 eyes. Paul Weeks, Regis Pennington, Adrian Rojas, Buddy Guild. Buddy Guild has a cool name. 20 punch power and 20 aggression. This could be kind of dangerous for Jose Williams. That might be a fun fight. Let's set that one up. Marquise Nova. Let's do Marquise Nova against Lamont Williams. Lamont Williams' his first fight. Some fun opposition for him. There's nobody in this division. We got to go to foreign fighters. Farai Malilo. Malilo, yeah. From Zimbabwe. He's pretty good. He's a dangerous fighter, kind of a fun fighter. But I don't know if that's the fight that we want. I'm really trying to stick to guys with decent records, make our fighters look good. Nick Monahan from England. That's a decent fight. Marco Costanzo from England. Also a decent fight. I think I'd rather fight Monahan out of these two. Let's do that one. I actually want to get this event going. Let's give Keenan DeRocha an easy win. He needs one. And James Darter, what's his record? 3-1, so he can take maybe a real fight. That looks dead even. Did he fight him already? No. Okay. Let's do Jacob Ally then. Let's schedule that event. Rosa versus Gomez title fight. Poot Sports. His name is Poot Sports. I'm not asking any questions. One takes punishment. He got knocked out. Big shock. Shock of a lifetime. The guy with one takes punishment got knocked out. I wonder how that happened. When is the next big title fight here? Donovan v. Mendez. That's for undisputed. I mean, that's for Donovan's undisputed. Donovan fights a lot, man. Donovan's not scared. April 12th, that's next week. This dude fights all the time. What was the last time he fought? He fought like 5. He got 2 fights in this episode. He fought in December. It's April. I guess that's reasonable. There are fighters who fight that much in real life. But guess what? We're watching another Johnny Donovan fight. If you were preying on Johnny Donovan's downfall, this might be your episode. Because, I mean, the more of his fights we watch, the higher of a chance he loses. If you're out there rooting against Johnny Donovan, like I know some of you are, then today might be your day. Will Johnny Donovan be able to hold on to his title against a dangerous fighter? And Carlos Mendez. I don't know that Mendez is better, though. I don't like the 3 chin and the 7 stamina. Let's see if Donovan can get what actually honestly should be kind of an easy win. Mendez has good power and good defense. I've never liked Donovan's bad defense in terms of him staying undefeated, but clearly he simulates while he's winning these fights. Big first round from Mendez. Forget I said anything. Donovan comes back and wins round 2. It's a big round 3 from Mendez. Donovan had something to say about it, had a little bit even. Big blowout in round 4. Another big blowout in round 5 from Mendez as Donovan needs to bite down on his mouthpiece and do what he can to avoid getting knocked out. The energy percentage is a little even, but Donovan's undisputed record is in the wind at this point. And he gets a knockdown and then knocks him out. This guy is magical. Johnny Donovan is magical. What a performance by Johnny Donovan. Look at this. Hold up. Let's see what happens. A crazy round 7. Donovan knocks down Mendez and he gets up at the count of 6. So at this point, Mendez gets a cut over his left eye in round 3. Donovan's got a cut on his nose, and then he breaks his nose here in round 7 before knocking out Mendez. That's incredible. Mendez, somehow he breaks his nose. There were no power shots landed, but he somehow broke his nose. Maybe it was some dirty boxing from Mendez, maybe an elbow or a shoulder, but it broke Donovan's nose. And then he comes back and just KOs Mendez. 2 knockdowns. It says the guy doesn't have power, but he's just got magic in his hands. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the high ring IQ and low aggression, actually. He makes the right decisions. He makes the right decisions at the right times. He just knows how to win. That's the most important thing at the highest levels in boxing. Obviously, he just knows how to pull out victories. Look at this fight. Potsy versus Mehdi Yusupov. Is this a run back? Have they fought before? Record. No. That's a crazy fight. Who did Potsy beat again? Oh, he beat Molinar. Wow, yeah. What a crazy fight. The light heavyweight division is absolutely sick. And I think that's an undisputed. There might be one belt that's not on the line in that one. That's April 26th. That's 2 weeks from now. That's going to be one of the bigger fights of the day between two undefeated champions. Russia versus Tanzania. How you like that? How you like that culture clash? What a fun fight. What a win by Johnny Donovan. I'll just say it again. That was incredible. What a comeback. He was absolutely cooked. He had to do everything he could to avoid getting TKO'd there. And here's the event we just scheduled. Seals versus Cota. We've got few enough fighters that we can just schedule them all at the same event at this point. We're going to do this event and then do a little scouting, I think, before the Potsy fight. Well, the Potsy fight is right now. You know what? I feel like if I do my event first, I'm going to forget this fight. So let's do this championship fight next, and that way I can section this part of the video as being championship fights as well. I don't have to schedule it in a more complicated way. I can just say that this is the championship fights, and the event is the event. And Yusupov gets a knockdown on Potsy. To be honest, I think Yusupov is a better fighter. I would put my money on Yusupov in this fight. I think the Russian contingent are going to be going home happy tonight. Potsy manages to stand in there and keep it even. Forget I said anything about the Russian contingent going home happy, because Potsy was on the back foot in round 1. Managed to keep it even in round 2. He got knocked down in round 1. But in round 3, he knocks out Yusupov. Maybe I should have watched that fight a little slower. I would like to see that one run back, but I don't know that Yusupov gets the chance. And that's just bad luck for Yusupov. Just Potsy landing those power shots, and that 19 punch power, I guess, shines through. I mean, Yusupov has the very same punch power that knocked Potsy down in the first round. You almost wish Yusupov would have gotten up from that knockdown and continued the fight, because I think there's a lot of timelines where Yusupov wins this fight. Potsy, way less energy and way higher damage. She was very lucky to get out of there with a win, very lucky to get out of there with that knockout. That's a pretty shocking result there. And John Potsy is managing to keep his titles despite, let's be real, I mean, he just doesn't have a super crazy skill set. It just shows how far ring IQ can really take you. And his box office, I mean, he's got to be a superstar all over Africa. Molinar and Yusupov back to back. I mean, this dude's fans probably just go crazy. There's probably some people who think he's super overrated, and the attributes will tell you he's right, but his fans probably are singing his praises from the rooftop after these 2 wins. What a track record. He looks like one of the best fighters of all time based on that. He's the current pound-for-pound go to the save with those wins. He is the pound-for-pound go to the save right now. I'm a big James Ray guy. I'm a big James Ray fan. I wish we could sign him. I wish we had the resources to sign him. Best heavyweight on the planet, no doubt. All right, Darter versus Ali. Let's go. Let's get it on. I'm not a big James Darter believer. He's got some stuff to prove to me for sure. Big first round for Ali. Again, I don't think the meal service was great on the flight from Tanzania. Jacob Ali is not happy. He knocks down Darter, who's got no energy left, and has no energy left on his contract either. I'm about to cut this man. Can you show up? Bro, he's down 76-0. I don't know what to say. Smother inside. Just hug him. Clinch, clinch, clinch. Nice. Got blown out. Absolutely blown out. You're cut. Where are you? Where are you, James Darter? I gave you a shot. I gave you a shot, bro. That low ring IQ, low intelligence, and low stamina is just kind of a deal breaker for reality. The reality of his fights when he steps in the ring. Dominant performance over Keenan DeRocha when he needed it desperately. I have expected to come in here and hate on Keenan DeRocha, but I mean, the guy's got some skill set. 20 punching accuracy and 20 aggression and 20 take punishment. It's kind of hard for me to believe he's got a 1-2 record, so it was nice to get him a setup. And Nick Wilson didn't even throw a friggin' punch. And I've already completely forgotten the name and existence of that fighter that we cut about 20 seconds ago. Who was that guy? What was his name? He was trash, whoever he was. I'm glad he's not in our promotion anymore. I love Boxing Manager. I'm just going to be so mean to the fighters we cut and so kind to the ones that win us championships, that win us belts, that make us millions of dollars. They will be absolute legend. Just a cruel, cruel game. I'm just blathering instead of commentating. What's actually a pretty nice fight here. Monahan is out in front. Randy Dale's in a little trouble. He's got to chase the finish here in round 8. He's just got to keep chasing that finish. This guy's got a lot of power shots, so I'm kind of hesitant to look for KO. I might do another pile on pressure and then do go for broke in the last round. Yeah, we need to win this round. Let's do go for broke. That's a close fight, baby. Now, Randy Dale, we got it. He got it. He clutched those last few rounds. It's rough for Monahan, who outlanded and had more power shots, but it was such an even fight. Monahan breaks his right hand in round 9. Maybe that let Dale, but Dale dominated the last 2 rounds because Dale definitely dominated all 3 of the last 3 rounds, and you could have definitely given him round 7. He might have won the last 6 rounds. I think that's how some of the judges had it, just a clean 6-4. Also a close round 3. That was a good fight. Lamont Williams versus Marquise Nova. I'm a little excited about Lamont Williams. We can see what he has. He's kind of mid right now. I like the stamina, good punch power. Always good to have a good chin. Let's see what kind of record he can get worked up here. I don't expect to cut him soon. Knocks down Nova very quickly. Knockdown in your first professional round is always good. And he gets a round 2 TKO. Pretty easy opposition. Decent puncher with decent defensive skills, but everything else is just wow on Marquise Nova. So that's a fight I would expect Lamont Williams to win, and he did. Jose Williams, a bit of a setup against Buddy Guild, but 20 punch power and 20 aggression. This is funny. It's a 6-round fight, but I'm going to start on cover up because I want Williams to counter punch because this guy's going to come at us. Yep, exactly. Let's do natural style. We just have to watch for the power shots from him. See, there's power shots. He's landed some power shots. Let's jab and move. I just want to stay away from this guy. You know? Yeah, jab and move is smart. He's too aggressive for his own good. He's just chasing us around and trying to land big shots. It's goofy. Yeah, go to the body really worked. That's a dominant performance from Jose Williams, who gets the final round knockout over Buddy Guild. Buddy Guild, you had a cool name, and you have fun attributes and a fun combination, but you never had a chance against Jose Williams out of Los Angeles, California. Of your MC Promotions. Randy Hart against Roberto Robles. Roberto Robles, kind of a cool name, honestly. Sounds like a baseball player from Guadalajara. Yeah, see if we can get Randy Hart another win. Randy Hart needs to get some freaking KOs on his record. Not a great first round, but he doesn't take a ton of damage. He's still on 88% energy, which I like to see. We try to go to the body in the second round. It doesn't really work. We're still pretty even on energy. Let's see if we can win these last 4 rounds. Randy Hart is in a little trouble. He's not throwing here. 17 punches. We need to do pile on pressure. I mean, Robles has 20 defense, and Robles gets a knockdown. This is not good. We need to go to the body again just to try to wear him out. It doesn't work either. Absolute go for broke situation here. I'm sad for Randy Hart that he's going to lose his undefeated record, and he does. He manages to avoid the KO. But that's a one-sided beatdown by Roberto Robles, and that's why we schedule these fights. That's why we schedule these fights against not terrible opposition. There's a lot of rows down here that Hart has on Robles, but I mean, he doesn't have defensive skills or ring IQ on him, and that matters a lot, and that the take punishment is kind of even, and believe me, take punishment is very important when 2 punchers are capable of landing punches on one another, as these 2 are. And as we saw earlier in the card, high ring IQ and low aggression. Not early in the card, actually, with Johnny Donovan. High ring IQ and low aggression is a good combination because it means the fighter makes the right decisions. And when you combine that with 20 defensive skills, you get a hard fighter to beat. And Hart didn't really use his reach advantage. We didn't really see enough power shots. He didn't really throw enough despite that 20 aggression. And those bottom 3 attributes there on the canvas, take punishment and stamina, didn't really come into play in this fight, so they don't really matter. So you can just block out those bottom 3 rows and look at the rest, and you're looking at a much more even matchup, and it starts to make a lot more sense how Robles wins that fight. Max Rice against Sergio Cuevas. This is another very losable matchup. Let's see. Another high aggression fighter where I'm kind of thinking about starting on cover up. I tell you what, I really wish some of these were 10-rounders. I really do. I wish this one was a 10-rounder especially. We're going to do fast here. I regret not doing fast on more of these fights. There's been some fun fights. It'll be fun to commentate this one in a little more detail. It's a good start for Cuevas. Rice finally scores. He gets the first power shot in. But Cuevas is winning this round on volume, without question. And Cuevas is still scoring. Rice is landing power shots, but Cuevas is really scoring. Really outlanding and really outscoring. It starts to become a question of, do we want to force Rice to pile on pressure here? I'd say the damage isn't enough for us to cover up, but I'm always tempted to cover up because I think it's what fits the stylistic matchup here. Take advantage of Cuevas' aggression. Rice comes out landing better, then immediately gives it up. Cuevas starts landing combos and gets a big power shot in to accentuate it. Rice gets a cut under his eye, gets Cuevas against the rope and starts landing combinations and steals the round at the end. That was a good job at the end there to steal the round. I've been way too tempted to go cover up. You know what? I like how we finished that round, but pile on pressure is a little extra to me, and so is cover up. Let's do natural style. But I'm eager to do something else. It's a good power shot there to start the round. It's nice that Rice carries through the momentum from the end of that last round into this one. He's dominating the round so far. Just keeps piling on. Doesn't have the most ring control. Cuevas starts to land. It's still a Rice round, though. And this is an insanely even fight. We're going to keep it on natural style. This is a great fight. 40 to 45 to 3. Rice is getting in with the power shots, but just as I say that, here comes Cuevas with a big start to the round. Rice steps on and gets back in it about halfway through, trying to get back in it. It's another combination. Cuevas lands a 1-2 and steals it at the end. This is such an even fight. I don't even know what to do tactically or strategically. I feel like if I go to the body, it's just too much of a risk. I may not get counterpunched. I think go to the body might be smart. Smaller fighters. It's a very stamina heavy fight. He's got punch power and ring IQ, but he doesn't have good defense. I think we can go to the body against this guy. I think the attributes enable Rice to go to the body here. I think we can do some damage going to the body. We might get caught. And also, it's just a risk. Fighters tend to not throw enough, I think, when you go to the body. But he gets a big power shot in. 2 more solid punches. Let's see how much damage this is doing to Cuevas. This is a big round to win if we do, in fact, win it. Cuevas starts to land, but then Rice finally... Ooh, he gets a knockdown. Right at the bell. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Struggles to his feet, and Rice lands another big punch. I thought we had Cuevas down there. Yeah, go to the body was a very good call, and we're going to pile on pressure and try to get the finish here against the tired Cuevas. And Cuevas lands a punch. He's trying to get back into it. Maybe a draw if Cuevas can win this round. Rice needs to start throwing. I say pile on pressure, and it's really a one-sided round. Rice isn't throwing. Rice needs to get back in this round. Now he's starting to combo off. Trying to get back in it, but Cuevas takes it 57-56, 57-56, 56-57 for the winner by split decision, Max Rice. That is a great, impressive win for Max Rice. I already was a Max Rice fan. I definitely am more of one now. That was an awesome fight, man. That was a very fun fight for Max Rice, and we've still got Rios, Ramos, Cottrell, and Seals to go tonight. See why I love this game? See why I love this game? Dude, these are some awesome fighters. I'm having a blast right now. Rios. Rios trying to get more purchase here in the cruiserweight division against Shannon Flanagan, the Irish terror. Oh, wait, he's Australian. We're going to go on fastest here because this should be kind of a gimme for Rios. I think, yeah, Flanagan is honestly kind of trash. He's got good stamina, but he can't box. This dude's a runner. This dude should be running marathons. What are you doing boxing? Go run marathons, bro. Or run the Sydney Marathon. There have to be some crazy-ass marathon stories from Australia, huh? Dude's like fighting kangaroos at mile 14. Mile 15 run to a scorpion that shits poison out of its tail into your eyeballs. Fish that swim up your dick. Mile 18 of the race. You run. You have to have a wallaby chasing you as you cross the finish line. That's mandatory. You actually can't finish a marathon in Australia unless you have a wallaby actively chasing you as you cross the finish line and you're drunk. Beer drunk. Beer drunk, god damn it. Cottrell versus Lamanna. This is an awesome fight. Lamanna's 3-0 with 3 KOs. Don't know against 2. He doesn't have a lot of power, but listen. More 6-rounders, though. Can we get a 10-rounder? Cottrell. Man, okay, Cottrell's in trouble here against Lamanna. I think this is a pile-on pressure situation. Let's see how he does. Okay. Let's do cover up. I think we're a better boxer than him. Can we do jab and move? Are we bigger? We're not bigger, but we have a longer reach. Jab and move would be interesting. I don't know if we have the ring IQ to really comfortably jab and move. And it says he's the boxer puncher. So let's do cover up instead of jab and move. I meant to go fast there. That was a very exciting round. Let's go fast for the last 2 rounds of the fight. We're going to go back to natural style and let it dictate. But Lamanna has been very impressive also. Lamanna has made a good impression on me here. If we can maybe sign him in the future. Cottrell has been impressive as always. He's also a good fighter. Power shots here landing. Landed some impressive shots. They say a little between the fighters. I'm giving that round to Cottrell. Let's score it here. Cottrell with 6 power shots worries me, but he's won the last 3 rounds. If they don't give him 3, I'm very mad. He outlanded, but I don't like the power punches and ring control being for Lamanna. I think one of the judges might give it to him. So do we pile on pressure? I think we pile on pressure again. I think that fits with the flow of the fight. We do get the first punch. We're still landing, still comboing. Well, here comes Lamanna. He gets us back against the ropes after landing punches. Landed more punches. Cottrell off the back foot, but there's not much actual action going on. And Lamanna's going to manage to steal kind of a cheap round there at the end. Judge 1 has it a draw. Judge 2 has it a draw. Judge 3 has it a draw. This is a draw. I'll run it back if I can remember. I don't know if that fight is really worth running it back. I don't really know if that's worth it. Because to me, Cottrell didn't lose that fight. I didn't see anything definitive there to say that Cottrell lost that fight. That was just kind of a boring tactical heavyweight fight between 2 fighters who didn't want to lose their zeros. And neither of them did. Jermaine Ramos versus Muhammad Estrada. Another fighters with 2 guys that don't want to lose their zeros. It's still 6 rounds. It's another fight that should probably be a 10-rounder. I want to see Jermaine Ramos be impressive, but that might not happen. Estrada should be tough. Let's keep it on fast. Again, only 6 rounds. Estrada off to an excellent start, unfortunately. And then Ramos starts to get into it and actually gets into the lead. Big punches. Estrada feeling those. Steps back. Injures his left hand throwing combinations. Apologies. Start of round 2. Estrada really establishing ring control here in the first 2 rounds, and he does it again. He's just... Ramos really needs to get on his horse earlier in these rounds. He's having to play catch-up here. And he doesn't have ring position. There's a power shot, but then Estrada lands one right back. Estrada definitely won that round. So this is a little troubling. We're down 2-0. I'm gonna say pile on pressure for Ramos here. It's a little interesting timing, but we need him to initiate some offense with the energy that he has. And we'll see how Estrada can counterattack. Again, it's an even round, but again, Estrada has the ring positioning, and Ramos just isn't throwing enough volume until that big power punch and a knockdown. Estrada's up to the count of 6. Ramos continues to combo off. A big body shot there to end the round. And that's a bad round for Estrada. He didn't throw much. Only 5 punches, no power shots. Ramos is finding his range, finding his power shots. This pile on pressure is working. Might have made a mistake keeping it on there. Nah, he's throwing power punches. He's really starting to find his range against Estrada. Find his way through the guard, land big shots. Precise shots, using his accuracy. 1-2s. Backs him up into the corner and continues to land as the round ends. Another clear round for Ramos there. So this fight could either be 4 Ramos, 3-1, or it could be a 2-2. We're gonna go back to natural style. Be like taking the training wheels off. Hopefully, we can keep the initiative. But Estrada is not taken kindly, and again, he's had such good ring position. He isn't finding the power shots, but I would say he's definitely outboxing Ramos, and this is getting embarrassing. Ramos needs to throw. Ramos is not throwing. I don't even know what to say about that round. That was a dominant round by Estrada. I think we need to go back to our bread and butter, the pile-on pressure. I mean, that's what's been working. That's what won us those 2 rounds. But how big of a... Let me see. Screw it. I'm going to do go for broke because we're the better fighter. We're the better fighter across the board. I want to tell him to just let his hands go and throw, but I mean, Estrada is just the better man on this night. I think it's fair. I mean, the ring position, the amount of punches he's throwing. We tell Ramos to go for broke and he doesn't throw anything. He's thrown 1 punch in 2.5 minutes. I mean, I'm just sitting there like that Lisa Simpson with her arms out meme in the corner. I don't even know what to say. He gave that fight away in the last 2 rounds. If you don't want to punch, man, don't like, and I don't know what to say. You're a fighter. Punch. Throw punches. At least jab a little bit. I mean, the guy wasn't even throwing. He was just standing there letting himself get his ass kicked. And, I mean, how can you be surprised when you lose the fight by an entirely fair decision? I think we learned something about Jermaine Ramos today. He really might not have that dog in him. We really might have to look at him in terms of him being on this roster. I was very optimistic when I signed him, but he's also 27. He's a little undersized for a welterweight. And if you're gonna counter that mid defense with not using your aggression. I mean, where was that 18 aggression? You know? I mean, the 10 of ring IQ makes sense, and the 1 box office, definitely. It's not very box office to not throw any punches for 2 straight rounds. I'll tell you what. It could have something to do with the 4 conditioning. 4 conditioning and 20 stamina is interesting. I think conditioning might have more to do with how you keep your energy when you get hit. So if he's not good at that, if he took damage in that fight, it would make a lot of sense why his conditioning led to him losing that fight. But I don't understand why he wasn't throwing punches, to be honest with you. We're going to give Randy Dale a new contract, absolutely. I'm definitely excited about Randy Dale. Yeah, that Nick Monahan fight was very fun. Keenan DeRocha had a very impressive win in his last fight. And again, he's got that 20 aggression, 20 punch accuracy, and that 4 defense that's going to make him a pretty fun follow no matter what. So I think he saved his position at the company with that last fight. And now it's Jermaine Ramos I'm kind of looking at with a speculative eye. Like, what do you really have for me? We're definitely going to level up his defense. And his conditioning's got to come next. That 4 conditioning is just cringeworthy. I don't know why I'm leveling up my fighters when I still have a main event to do, but you know what? Boxing manager is boxing manager. I want Cottrell to have more punch accuracy and more ring IQ and more ring IQ. I don't mind spending on Cottrell at all. Never mind spending on the heavyweights. You gotta love heavyweights. It's always a great moment in your save when you get your first heavyweight champion. Having your first heavyweight champion any save is a badass moment. I can't wait till we have our first one. Who are the current heavyweights again? Ray, and then who's the other guy? Deshaun Keys has 2 of the heavyweight belts, WBC and the WBA. I haven't heard of this guy. All right, let's go watch the main event. We can't get a heavyweight champion if we don't get through our main event soon, if we don't play the game. So, our headline fighter, Tony Seals, is going to get what should be an easy win against Roberto Cota with his bad chin and bad take punishment. And it's going to be 10 rounds, so we're going to go to the first round fastest. It's also middleweight. Oof. Seals is whooping his ass. Pile it on, pile it on. Let's do look for KO, because this guy's got a weak chin. I wanted to do weak for KO 1 round. We really are racking up damage on him. Let's cover up. Yeah, that was smart. He's got high aggression. He played right into our trap. Let's do natural style. I feel like Seals is going to end it. He could end it this round. All right, cool. I was going to say if he wasn't done, we were going to go to the body, but didn't end up being necessary. We got him just with natural style in round 6. Yeah, Cota wasn't a very good opponent. Might be one of those situations where, he had the 11-11. I'm trying to make it look, kind of good on Tony Seals' record, but we're going to go back and look at Cota, and he's going to be like, 13-25 or something like that. He'll just get brutalized by the rest of the good fighters in the sim that he has to fight, unfortunately. But a win is a win for Tony Seals. He got injured in that fight, just cutting his eye. And I'd say that Gun Crusher is still by far his quality win on his record. I mean, got to get him more quality wins. It's not like, like Dwayne Jude isn't actually a good fighter. He's just got a cool name. Christian Thompson is mid and is 7-10 now. Well, he was 7-7 when he fought him. Corey Matisse is 8-8. Was 8-8 when we fought him. He's 8-9 now because we beat him. But yeah, Gun Crusher and then Cota also isn't that good of a fighter. It's going to be interesting to see. That's not Tony Seals' attributes. That's a funny glitch that gives him the attributes of the last fighter you checked, not Tony Seals, but there's Tony Seals' attributes. Definitely going to get some XP growth. Takes punishment is so important. Guys with low takes punishment really do get knocked out more. They just take damage faster. But listen, 10-0 at 19 years old is still awesome, and he's a local kid, so how can you really hate on Tony Seals? There's probably some people in the fan base who think he's a little boring. 9 box office. 9 intelligence also might make him hard to root for at times, but he's only 19 years old, so he's got a lot of room to grow. Intelligence is not something you can train, though, which is something I like in this game. You cannot train somebody's intelligence skill. There's a few skills you can't train. I'm pretty sure, you can't train dedication. Box office just grows by itself. You can't train dirtiness, I don't think. Maybe you can train conditioning. You can train conditioning. Oh, you can train dirtiness. I just don't. I just don't do that. I just do not do that thing. Let's see. Is there a title fight coming up? Super flyweight title between two undefeated fighters from Latin America. Baby Rufidera from Panama City, Panama, and Roger Mascara from Bogota, Colombia. That's going to be a banger of a fight. Mascara can punch, man. I'd like Mascara. He's the smaller man, but I'd like him in that fight. And this is a world middleweight title between Percy Manesh from India and Christian Yuseniov from Sofia, Bulgaria, who's getting a title shot pretty early into his career as a 21-year-old 16-0 fighter, but man, is he good. Man, is he good. Doesn't have a lot of power, but he's a real good fighter. And so is Percy Manesh, the pride of India. But in the aggression, the punching power is also... the punching accuracy and aggression are very nice mix here on Percy Mahesh. Sorry, not Manesh. Mahesh. That's going to be a fun fight. Mahesh versus Usenov. Mahesh versus Usenov. And that fight is in... how long? It's in a few weeks, so it's not right now. Rafida versus Mascara is in next week. Okay. So we're going to watch that fight, and then we're going to schedule a new event. Sneak this one in. I'm probably not going to label this one in the timestamps, I can't lie. Probably not going to label this one to sneak this in. I don't think anybody's really waiting on the super flyweight world title between these two fighters. Nobody knew existed until a couple seconds ago. But man, I'm really interested in this Usenov guy. Just a young fighter. I can't wait to see how young Seals is before he starts to really become a contender. Number 22 ranked in North America, but he needs a actual good opponent to scrap with if that's going to happen. So here's the IBF WBO World Super Flyweight title. Baby Rufidera versus Roger Mascara. Rolls right off the tongue. I'm taking Mascara, obviously better puncher. Let's see if Rufidera's defense can win the day. I would kind of wish he had better stamina to make it a better fight. Round 1. Close one. Not much going on. Again, another boring round. Rufidera edges that one. Big Rufidera round there. That's an absolute banger there. Mascara. I'm going to have to go out fighting. That's a big round there. Man. They're really going at it, huh? They're really going at it. Mascara is starting to come into the fight here and really starting to land volume and land punches. And he's got ring control. I think he's established ring control here. He's gotten a lot better in the last couple rounds. And now Rufidera's got a higher TKO percentage than him, so this might get interesting. They're just such even rounds. Rufidera takes the lead at the beginning, and then Mascara sneaks back in. This is turning into kind of a classic. Rufidera takes a little bit of a lead. And now it's a big round for Mascara, who's got all the energy. Man, let's watch this on fast. This is kind of awesome. Didn't expect this fight to be this good. It's been back and forth and back and forth. Now Rufidera's got a cut. He's in trouble. It's going to come down to whether or not Mascara can do enough damage, but now Rufodera's winning the round. This is a crazy back and forth battle. What a fight we've got here. And Mascara comes back again, trying to get back into the round. He does that every time. These rounds are so close because Mascara is so able to get back into them with that 19 ring IQ, that 20 punching accuracy. I'm telling you guys, those fighters with the high ring IQ, the high punch accuracy, they just don't go away. It's so hard to get rid of them. And I'm telling you, he's going to use that last 4% of his energy. I'd like him to win another round here. This is such a hard fight to score. I do not envy these judges. And if you guys want to criticize me for getting more into these championship fights of the fighters I'm not managing than my own fighters, that's not how I play this game. I play this game to literally set up like the history of the sport of boxing in a fictional universe and watch it occur. I'm just as engaged in who the champions are than I am in anything else. It's another big round for Mascara. This has been just a crazy fight. So let's score it the simple way, round by round, not the 10-9 system. It's 4-0 Rufodera there, 2 rounds for Mascara there. Then 2 more, so it's 6-2, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4. So unfortunately, I have it Rufodera 7-4, even though Mascara has been very impressive the last few rounds. So let's see what Mascara can do in the last round. He still has that 1%. I'd be hitting go for broke if I were in his corner. Rufodera can really put a claim to a win here, and I think no one could really deny that he won. If he really won this last round big, which he's not doing, Mascara has the big ring control as he has for a lot of the fight, and he's landing the bigger punches, and he's landing twice as much. Mascara takes that round. It's 113, 113, 114, 112, and 114, 111. So the winner by split decision, or maybe majority decision, the new IBF WBO World Super Flyweight Champion, Roger Mascara. And what a fight that was. Man, I did not expect that out of that fight. Wow. Those last 2 rounds for Mascara were absolutely tremendous, man. I am telling you. Utterly tremendous. That was a wonderful fight, seriously. That was an experience. Back and forth and back and forth. That was like Pacquiao de la Hoya or something. The amount of swings. Different things, the amount of times you thought one guy was going to win, the other guy was going to win. That was a good one. One of the better title fights of the save so far. I do feel like I say that lightly. There's a lot of good undefeated champions right now, though, with how easy it is to lose in this game. I don't feel like that's going to stay true. Who's this Francis Garcia Portales fellow from Lima, Peru? Orthodox super feather, very small for a super featherweight. Super featherweight is it's still pretty small, but it's a lot bigger than a super flyweight. And 5'3" is kind of that's not even a super flyweight height. There are some taller super flyers than that. He's got a big reach for a 5'3" guy, 72.5. He's got great punching accuracy, probably because of a 20 dirtiness. He's an interesting fighter. Don't know how he got to 45-1. Some of these records, as I've said before, seem fairly puffed up. When is this next big fight happening? Between Mahesh and Usainov. It's on the 17th. So we're gonna schedule an event of our own first, of course. All right, let's schedule this. So Seals is still injured. Fitch is still injured. So our two best fighters. Let's be frank here. You can pick it out of a hat whether you like Fitch more. I mean, you know what? Screw it. I like Fitch more because he's a southpaw. There, I said it. Seals is younger. Maybe has more upside, but Fitch has been funner, I'd say. Fitch has been a lot funner. He's also a skillful brawler, which who doesn't love a good skillful brawler? Very long reach, I just noticed, for a 5'8" guy and a southpaw. But he's not fighting. We have other fights to schedule, and I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of tempted to put Jermaine Ramos on the spot. Put him at the Westchester County Center in front of 4,000 people and make him headline a Showcase of Boxing Talent card. The big ones. Those are the ones that matter. Those are the ones that really count. Did we cut Gabriel McCreary? No. We could do Ramos. That's a, Are we going to do our first fight between two of our own fighters here? I'm very tempted to do McCreary versus Ramos. And hear me out. Here's why. because neither of their chins are cracked yet, right? They both have losses, but their chins are both still very good. McCreary doesn't take punishment well, but that could just make it a banger of a fight. And I'm sorry, looking at it, it just looks like it's going to be a banger of a fight, right? Ramos doesn't have the hands or really the skill of McCreary, but McCreary doesn't take punishment, and Ramos can dish it out with that 19 punching power and 19 aggression for sure, and they're matched up at 20 stamina. This is a banger of a fight between two very talented fighters who have a lot to prove to me as their promoter. This is a really, really fun fight, and we're definitely scheduling this. Y'all don't know boxing. Negative 50 ticket sales. You guys do not know boxing. You all suck, frankly. You should show up. You should be demanding. I'm begging this fight if you knew the first thing about ball. Both those dudes are going to be, listen to me, stalwarts in the division. Stalwarts, and you don't even want the fight. None of you are demanding it. You should be in the street outside of Madison Square Garden like the Knicks just beat the Celtics. You should be in the street outside of Yankee Stadium like it's right after the Subway Series, and you should be demanding this fight to happen. Everyone should have wanted that fight, and I actually had to come in and set it up myself. Are you kidding me? I'm the one who had to do it. A fight everybody wanted made. Look at Dean St. John. What an awesome name. Let's do David Flores versus Dean St. John. Who doesn't want that fight? I'm just telling you, I'm giving the people what they want, whether they know that they wanted it before I gave it to them or not. Come on now. Nobody knew they wanted Gotti Ward before Gotti Ward, man. Come on now. Cottrell versus Aparicio. That's a scrap. It's a nice test for Cottrell. Let's see how much Cottrell has been tested. That's the thing I'm really curious about first. Let me just take a look at Cottrell. Yeah, Lamana's a test, and he drew him, but we could just fight him again. That'd be, I think, more interesting to me. I don't see that opportunity anywhere, though. I see Shorty Anthony. I see Reza Wally, who gave us a pretty easy win before. Yeah, we're going to play it a little boring and go Reza Wally again just because that's an easy win. Why not? Let's get our boy to 8-0. Stephen Conquest is too good, and his name is too cringe. I absolutely refuse. Randy Hart coming off a loss. You'd think that we'd want to give him an easy win, but I kind of don't. I kind of want to test him again. I'm kind of questioning him, and I want to see him beat somebody kind of good, and I don't see anybody here. Agilas Hakar. This guy's kind of bad, actually, but he's got 2 knockouts in 6 fights. He's not awful. Meminashvili here. Can't believe I got that right first try. Meminashvili is actually the hardest fight and the best fight for him, but that doesn't necessarily make it the right fight. I like Hakar because I think he'll actually win it, and it'll also be fun. And it'll also be a situation where if he loses it, I'm just going to probably be like, no. That's really why I'm doing it, right? Because it's a fight where if he loses it, I can just be like, all right, clearly there's something missing. You know? Like a fighter that's the complete package is going to beat this guy, or that's capable of being the complete package one day, is going to beat this guy if I put him in front of you. So it's almost a fighter where I feel like he's got a responsibility to beat him if he wants to stay in the promotion, to be honest. And the other guy wasn't. If he loses to that guy, I'm just like, yeah, well, you lost to that guy. I still can't really draw that many conclusions. I think you guys understand what I mean. I'm really questioning who to go here with Irvin Fitch because as we move up the rankings here, even up into the 130s, it's getting harder to see who we can pick here to keep Fitch's undefeated record. I mean, I think Mendoza's the obvious choice here, even if his record isn't that good. It's just a high-ranking fighter. He's too high up in the rankings. He's up in the 130s for some reason when he shouldn't be there. Otek Raminov is randomly in the Ring Magazine ranks, as I like to do, so we're going to try to take advantage of that. With Irvin. Dale versus Williams could be another fight between our two fighters, but I don't really think that's called for. It might be fun to have Jose Williams randomly beat up on this 0-8 guy for no reason. Kind of pretend. Man, this guy, this is the worst fight. This actually is the worst fighter I've ever seen. This looks like, his attributes look like a phone number. If you read them down vertically, it looks like someone's phone number. It looks like a fake. This is a phone number, 533-763-733. You're missing one number. You're missing one number for it to be somebody's phone number for John DeCarlo. What a terrible fighter. How did he go 1-0? Who did he beat? Who did he beat? Oh, he beat Josh DeLuke. Josh DeLuke is the Glass Joe of the middleweight division. Josh DeLuke is Glass Joe, man. Look at this guy's attribute page. Yeah, I think he is self-promoted. I think he might be self-promoted. I think it's probably going to stay that way. Can't lie. Do not quit your day job. Joe Smith. Joe Smith. Grand Canyon University. Lamont Williams versus Rolando Vargas. This is kind of a banger fight on the undercard. I don't know why I'm testing Lamont Williams so hard. You know what? If Lamont Williams comes out the other side with some kind of 10-12-0 record, he's just going to look like an absolute badass. What do you mean? I'm sick of going into my own fighters' pages and seeing dudes with obviously cooked records and it being like, you know what? I actually haven't put this guy up against anybody good. Let's just challenge this dude from the frickin' jump. Speaking of challenging guys from the jump, Talgot Yuldashev is about to have a tough fight against Randy Dale for his first career fight. But once again, this is just a banger of a fight, so I'm going to make it. I kind of feel like putting Keenan DeRocha at the bottom of the undercard up against some terrible fighter. He's going to just absolutely starch. Justin Ramos is 4-21. That might be a little excessive. Ryota, I'm not even going to try that last name. He's good defensively, but again, I feel like, well, it's just not necessary. Can we go up against someone here? I don't know. That record's just a little... It'll almost be funnier if we go up against like Justin Ramos just because the record is that bad. You know, let's do it. He's 4-21. Let's just do it for comedic effect. You just skip right over it on his record whenever we look at it in the future. Whenever we look at DeRocha's record in the future, we're just going to skip right over that one. Did we miss that title fight? No, we didn't. I think it's this week. Yeah. Mahesh versus Yusinov. I am very invested in this fight. We're going to watch this one, I think, on Fast, even though it's 12 rounds. You know, let's watch the first round on Fastest. They're not heavyweights. It's middleweights. Close first round. A little boring. Big. Ooh, no. It was a big round for Yusinov, who I think is going to win this fight. He's my pick. But Mahesh managed to battle back there. Man, dude, this fight, it's got to be a huge deal in India, huh? There got to be a lot of Indian fans out there gathered all to watch in their droves to watch this Percy Mahesh fight. He's in trouble right now. Another even round. Yusinov is really, those power shots are clearly counting and damaging Mahesh, who doesn't have any visible damage to Yusinov's cut, but he's clearly close to getting stopped and out of energy even in round 5. And Mahesh just continues to stick with the plan, throw volume, go to the body. Still throwing volume, still going to the body. He's got him to 66-8. Mahesh with the final flurry, but Yusinov is just still in there. I mean, that's why I say it's a final flurry. He's got no energy left, 48. He managed to get around, but it took all of that. Yeah. And then Yusinov just steps back in and starts taking command again. It's another even round, but even there you have to give it to Yusinov. I mean, that was one of the better rounds. Mahesh managed to slow it down, and Yusinov still dominates. Another dominant round for Yusinov. There's a knockdown. 2 knockdowns. And that was sad. Mahesh with an injury to his right hand in the 9th round. Is just as the fight went on, he very visibly faded. The beating that he was taking just, yeah, it ended up showing, making its mark. There are fights like that in real life where you just see a guy, you know, it's boxing. Just over time, you just break your opponent down, and that's what Yusinov just did because he's good. because he's real good, and he's got that stamina advantage right there, and that's what's going to happen in those title fights if you don't quite have that taking punishment and you don't quite have that stamina. I would say Mahesh put up a good fight, but it wasn't actually that good of a fight. He didn't look that good. Usainov really dominated there. Pretty one-sided, to be honest. I'm going to give Max Rice a new contract. We love Max Rice. Max Rice is always going to have insurance. I don't want to see a little contract thing next to Max Rice's name. He's our boy. And here we've got two absolutely insane title fights between Asian fighters here. We got Philippines versus China, Manigo versus Sun. Sun is not that good. I would really put Manigo in this fight, but let's see. Let's see if Sun can pull off the upset. And then we've got Sungmin Cha versus Sung Kumpen Wang from China. And this is just going to be an absolute firefight at strawweight. Man, these strawweights don't mess around. Firecrackers. Just firecrackers in there. Rocket fuel in their veins, man. Manigo versus Sun. Let's see what happens here in round one. I'm taking Manigo here. 2 knockdowns pretty much right off the bat, and it's a dominant performance for the man from Davao. And the Philippines are freaking out right now. They got the next Pacquiao. 35-0. What an awesome fighter. Sungmin Cha versus Wang. And here we might get a war in the strawweight division. But like I said before, it is a little easier to knock out strawweights, and Wang is in a lot of trouble against the undefeated Cha, as the South Korean gets a stoppage in the 3rd round. And if you were hoping you were going to get a war out of those 2 fights, I have some sad news for you. They ended pretty quick. We've got pretty quick conclusions to those championship fights. But it's cool to see so many fights between undefeated fighters. We're going to be able to set up another little fight here in a couple of weeks with Seals, Fitch, Rios, and Rice. Wow, that's going to be a fun little event. Might even make it a main event and stage it in a smaller venue. We're up at almost $500,000 now. Look at that. See? You just move your fighters. That's one of the things I like about this game, how this early game phase sort of moves slowly. You really start to slowly build the stable of fighters and slowly build yourself up in a way that feels very natural. I thought that said ayahuasca. Alexis Ruiz from Ayahuasca, Mexico. Wochel versus Ruiz. Joachim versus Hoon. Yeah, Wochel versus Ruiz. Which one of these do I want to watch? I'm not really that interested in Rice versus Asai. This is for 2 belts, so we'll watch this one. Let's just put it on fast, though. I'm not that invested in either of these guys. But, if you're German, we're for Mario Wochel there. That's a reason. That's a reason right there, is it not? Fastest. Wochel gets off to a good start. Wochel with a huge 2nd round. Ruiz steps back up in the 3rd round, but Wochel answers. Nice ring control from Ruiz, but he's not throwing punches. Wochel's way ahead in the fight. Big round for Ruiz, though. Getting back into a very even round. And this is starting to turn to a fight, but Ruiz needs to dominate one of these rounds, and he doesn't do it. He's more tired out now, and he gets a knockdown. See, this is turning into a banger. Wochel's probably still a little bit ahead, but maybe not if you gave it a 10-8, but Ruiz doesn't have that much energy left after that knockdown, and he's going to have to follow up with what's a little is left of his energy, and now he's out of energy, 85-0. He might have even won that last round, but these last 3 rounds, he's not going to have much to say to Wochel, I don't think, at least until Wochel gets tired. He does a good job keeping him off him, keeping himself safe, and he even won the round. I think that was a very smart round by Ruiz. But it's a big knockdown by Wochel. Ruiz struggles to his feet at the count of 8. He's running on empty here in round 12. We could see Wochel get a finish. 8% energy isn't a lot, though. He's ahead on the scorecards, Wochel. Yeah, that's a win for Wochel. That's a UD, 115-110. One card, 116-109. That was a very good, impressive performance by Wochel. Ruiz gave a good account of himself and got a knockdown and stuck in there a lot later and a lot deeper into the fight than I thought he was going to have any presence at all. We got to wait 2 more weeks for schedule this event because Rios. You know what? Wait. Let me see here. Great show. Great main event. Nah, let's wait. I kind of like the idea because Tony Seals is 19. I kind of like the idea of just rushing Seals through fights so we can have some super impressive some super impressive record when he's super young. But it's not actually worth it. That's not worth, like, I'd rather Anthony Rios just get healthy, everybody be healthy, we get to this next event, and then schedule another one. That sounds nice to me. And at some point, we got to do some scouting and actually sign some guys. Maybe even do some amateur scouting because we have more influence points to be able to sign amateurs. That's very important. Fight number 10. There are really 10 fights tonight. Wow. Big card. Headlined by Ramos versus McCreary. Man, what a fight that is going to be. I cannot wait for that. Let's start with DeRocha versus Ramos. This should be a gimme here for DeRocha. Should be a gimme here for DeRocha. We're on fastest, right? Yep. Round win there for Ramos. DeRocha really piling it on. DeRocha continuing to pile it on. I mean, I need some pile-on pressure. This guy's got a 4-21 record. You got to finish him. And somehow Justin Ramos gets a big round. He's landed 8 power punches. We're not like even doubling him up. It's 95-59. I'm not really impressed by DeRocha's performance here against a bad fighter in Ramos, but he gets the knockout in round 7, which I guess knocking anybody out as a bantamweight. But I mean, this dude's never had a career knockout himself. You should have just really gone after him from the opening bell. Kind of reminds me of Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley at the undercard of that Better BF Bivol rematch. Where, like, Josh Padley, he's an okay fighter, but he's an electrician. I mean, that guy wasn't an okay fighter. He was 4-21. But Padley in real life, electrician sort of narrative was like, yeah, Shakur Stevenson got the knockout in round 9. Everybody expected him to knock him out, but, like, do it sooner. You're fighting an electrician. Like, Shakur Stevenson's one of those fighters where, he's one of those American fighters, young American fighters, this new generation where people haven't really seen those big, crucial wins that are going to impress everybody. And Josh Padley isn't going to be one of those, but you still got to show up and really put a beat down on a guy you should be putting a beat down on. And if Padley's a good fighter, that's one thing, but it just wasn't that impressive of a performance, at least until the knockout for Shakur. And I haven't been impressed by a Shakur performance in a while, to be honest with you, but I'm still very open-minded to him as a boxer because he's very stylistic and very slick and very good. I just don't know if he's special. I don't know if, one day he goes up against one of those guys who's really a beast, if he's going to be able to survive. My instinct would honestly say no, unfortunately. Let's do Dale versus Yuldashev. This is a big professional debut for Yuldashev against a very good fighter in Randy Dale. It's only 6 rounds, shame. Big first round for Dale. Yuldashev gets back in round 2. Interesting. You know what? Yeah, let's go to the body. Big body shots from Dale. Let's do more body shots. You could argue Yuldashev is winning these rounds. He's throwing a lot of volume. That's a round win for us. Let's do pile on pressure, and let's do fast because this is a close fight. I don't like this. We're really letting Yuldashev steal rounds. I feel like Dale just isn't strategizing here. He's just letting Yuldashev have the fight. That pile on pressure, he's not piling on pressure at all. And he gets a knockdown. Man, did that swing the round. And I was trying to get back in it with punches, but they said Yuldashev won the round, but clearly, these scorecards are going to be interesting. It's just enough for Randy Dale. Really interesting fight to score. A really close fight in terms of stats, too. 90-10-1 against 90-14-0. But that knockdown in the last round was incredibly clutch for Randy Dale. Probably in scoring in a round he needed to win that he was getting dominated in. You look at these cards, and it's kind of hard to imagine how you give the fight to Dale. He loses round 2. You could maybe give him round 3, but that'd be a little generous. You can't really give him round 4. He had ring control, but the power punches went to Yuldashev, and if it weren't for that knockdown, you absolutely couldn't give him round 6, and you might not even give him round 5. It'd be a little mean. It's a tough fight to score, and it's kind of crazy that it went unanimous to Randy Dale. Lamont Williams. This should be a close one. Two fighters with a sparse experience in the pros, just 3 professional fights between them, 2 knockouts. Williams finally starts the score halfway through the round. I meant to do this on fastest. Just disappointed at how much Vargas is landing, but that's one of the most consistently frustrating things in this game is just how much your fighters get landed on. It's really annoying watching your fighters just some of the when you get a 30 punch round against you, you know, just watching him rack up 10 punches before you even throw one. You just have this little voice in the back of your head. You want to be in the corner going, throw punches, just punch, let your hands go. Come on. There we go. Speaking of letting your hands go, Lamont Williams lets his hands go. And that little period at the beginning of round 1 where Vargas started to throw shots was really our only worried moment of the fight. That was an easy win for Lamont Williams, who's looked very impressive against the 2 good fighters I put him up against so far. Jose Williams is fighting the janitor. So this one should be quick. Let's go look for KO. Because if you get a first round KO, his box office is going to go up. Let's just keep looking for the KO. Wow, come on. I just said about Josh Padley. There we go. Finally knocks him out. I can't believe DiCarlo was 1-0 with 1 knockout, even if he did fight someone 0-7. I don't know how you knock anybody out with, 3 punch power and 5 accuracy or something like that. Irvin versus Romanov. Yeah, if he loses this fight, it's I'm starting to look at him sideways a little bit. Big damage there in round 1, knockdown in round 2, and then a knockout at the end of round 2. And I'm not looking at Steve Irvin sideways anymore. He just absolutely dominated Otabek Romanov, who flew all the way from Uzbekistan for that. He flew all the way from Uzbekistan to New York to throw 8 punches and get knocked unconscious. This is a tough business. Fitch versus Mendoza. Mendoza's got the chin on him. Fitch has the talent. Let's see. Big first round by Mendoza. See, man, I mean, just all these punches. Just watching a fighter you know is not as good as your guy just get landed on. What is Fitch doing? He's got 10 rounds to recover. I need body work. I need him to get back into this fight. And he gets knocked down instead. Let's do cover up. I mean, it's still close in terms of energy. Natural style, please. There we go. Pretty even round. Gets dominated in that one. I'm going to go to pile on pressure out of kind of desperation. That's a big round for Fitch. You've obviously got that knockdown in round 4, though. He got up at the count of 1, but we definitely are losing on the scorecards here. I'm just going to keep it natural style for this round, and that's a good round win. We're going to go back to pile on pressure, and we're going to go fast. I'm kind of stuck between pile on pressure and go for broke. Let's go for broke. I feel like go for broke is a little more reckless than pile on pressure and will counter his high defense so slightly better. He needs to throw punches, though, and he's not doing that. It's just he needs to throw. I need to see the number on the left get bigger. There we go. 4-1. Mendoza's still throwing. There's some power shots from Fitch. This is such a close final round. How do you score that fight? He's really throwing a lot. We're scoring it for Mendoza. And there goes Fitch's 0. I think we learned something about Irving Fitch that I think I already knew. He's a little overrated. He just doesn't quite have it. I mean, he's not a good enough puncher. His ring IQ is pretty low. And this is why we do these test fights against guys who, like, you look at and it's like, yeah, he could lose if he has a bad day. And I think that was a more narrow loss than the judges would get credit for. But that knockdown changed a lot of things. And Mendoza really roughed us up, and Fitch didn't really show his toughness that much. He definitely showed a bad chin getting knocked down, and definitely didn't have enough ring control, especially early in the fight. He let Mendoza get established immediately with that big first round. So I'm not very impressed with Irvin Fitch right now. And he's also not the kind of fighter. He's not really a good puncher, so he's not the kind of fighter that I really want to be one of those road dogs or middle of the road guys in the promotion. I'd rather he be either one of the top guys or not in at all, unfortunately. So Irvin Fitch, I'm starting to ask questions about. Hart versus Akar. This would be a cool fight. Let's see what Randy Hart's got. Should have put it on fastest. I hope it's not another first round where we just let them get the initiative and win it. We need to get established early in these fights, especially after that last one. That was so frustrating. Just had a bad tempo set from the fight right from the off. Let's go back to fastest. Zip, zip, zip. Very good by Randy Hart. Excellent round there in round 2. Great round in round 3. Now he's just kicking ass. All right, let's put it on pile-on pressure. I mean, this is what pile-on pressure is known for. He's already been putting pressure on, and now he loses the round. But you know what? He's done well more than enough to win that fight. Randy Hart comes out a victor and gets back on the winning track. Love to see it. Ricardo Cottrell versus Reza Wally. This should be a very easy win for you, Cottrell. And, of course, Reza Wally comes out and starts landing punches on us, but we do come back and steal round 1. It's apparently an 8-round fight. That's interesting. Not a lot of 8-rounders, but maybe as we get up into these wins here, some of these fighters will start fighting more consistent 8-rounders. The main events always seem to be 10-rounders. Fighters involving other fighters with veteran records seem to be 10-rounders. But here, maybe the 8-round thing as a result of these guys being in that 8-fight, 9-fight. You know, who knows what the high number is here. But, yeah, just around this part of a fighter's career, you'll get some of these 8-rounders, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what makes it an 8-round fight. That seems what it would be based on my intuition that makes the game decide how many rounds, just the experience of the fighters. Pile on pressure with Cottrell. Hell yeah, more. Didn't win that one. Let's go to the body so we can tire him out. Nice. Gonna natural style it. Let's pile on pressure. Just finish it off. Wally wasn't much of a challenge for Cottrell there. Oh, and it's a TKO in round 8. Touch unnecessary. 16 seconds left. You could have just let him get to the final bell, but nah. Cottrell's got to be ruthless. Hey, you know what? He got box office for it, so I stand by it. Absolutely. And David Flores versus Dean St. John is the next fight. How good is Dean St. John? He's okay. Good stamina. Stamina monster. A little bit of defense. 13's not terrible. A little bit of a chin. Flores should take care of this, but again, Flores isn't quite the puncher you'd want him to be for chasing knockouts necessarily. Round 2, pile on pressure. It's not going well. You can go to the body. Round 3. It's still not going well. St. John is winning this fight. I mean, that 6-1 record's there for a reason. Big round for Flores. Another big round for Flores. Let's pile on here against my better judgment in the 6th. Not a good idea. That's a horrible idea. We get all of our energy drained. Now we got to go to the body. We can't really hang in that round. We're going to go for broke. And that's a shame. I think David Flores just lost his undefeated record. Nope. He clung on. Apparently he did enough. That was very nervy, close stuff, and I have no idea. That's another robbery. That's another robbery, in my opinion. I think Dean St. John just won that fight, and Flores robbed him. I mean, look, he's got ring control in all these rounds. I think he won this round here, round 8. He had more power punches. He had more power punches in 18. He landed way more. It's 26-6 in round 6. You have to give him that one. This was a big round 4 here for Flores. And I guess you could give Flores round 1, but he didn't have ring control. I have no idea. Like, what did the judges score it? I actually want to go through here. So let's look at 76-73 and wonder how you got there. Like, I really do. I wonder how you got that score. How you have Flores by 3 rounds. That just makes no sense to me. I mean, unless you've got a 10-8 here makes sense, but there's no knockdowns anywhere, so you can give a 10-8 here for St. John. To me, this genuinely looks like a 7-1 fight. I have no idea how you scored this fight for David Flores. It's kind of crazy that Dean St. John, that David Flores' undefeated record still remains, because I truly don't think he won that fight. But this is the fight in the history of all fights to watch in a slower speed. Our first fight between 2 of our own fighters. And just as a general rule, I avoid any kind of corner interaction in these fights. And this one's going to be very entertaining, McCreary versus Ramos. Let us see. Round 1, it's a good start for McCreary, who I think, as I said before, I am picking in this fight. Ramos needs to stand up. Ramos has not gotten up to play yet. He gets up there and jabs, and McCreary immediately gets cut under his left eye. So Ramos may be looking a little dangerous, but that's an easy round win for McCreary. I hate that this is a 6-rounder. It's just their lack of experience. I don't think they have enough fights. 7 fights against 6 fights. Ramos with a big punch. McCreary gets back into the round. Big shot. More big shots. Piling it on. McCreary up 2-0 now. And Ramos has got to be starting getting worried here. More big shots by McCreary. McCreary is just relentless. McCreary wants to prove that skill set is real. He really does. He's not good at taking punishment. He doesn't have a good chin, though. Ramos can always get in there with the big shot, but McCreary is dominating at this point. Still throwing, still connecting, up over 20 punches. Big power punches. Artful performance there by Gabriel McCreary. Ramos has no clue what to do in there. McCreary is still just lighting him up, letting his hands go. Big jabs, hooks, gets him back against the ropes, slaps him across the face. This is pretty brutal. He's just crushing him against the ropes. Nope. Ramos isn't taking it. He gets back and starts firing. But here comes McCreary again, and McCreary gave Ramos a total ass whooping. Ramos tried to come back, and McCreary just said no and backed him up again. That was an awesome round. Ramos tried to show fight and tried to get into this thing, and McCreary is just not letting him. McCreary once again gets the ring control, but this time Ramos lands the first big punch. McCreary comes back, though. He's throwing so much. He's got such a big volume advantage, but Ramos finally landed power shots, managing to damage McCreary a little bit, but Ramos himself is damaged pretty badly, and McCreary is still throwing all that volume, and the power shots disappear from Ramos, and the judges apparently say they're giving McCreary that round. It's a McCreary fight by a lot of points now. This would be a robbery of all robberies if Ramos were able to figure this out and win it. The only way I see him winning on points is he's got to really use that last 34% and knock down McCreary in this round, and then maybe you can get a couple BS judges scorecards off some guy that scored round 4 for him. But there's no justifying McCreary winning this fight on the cards. He's got to win it by knockout, and that's only really slightly possible. But if it's going to start for Jermaine Ramos, it's going to start with a 1-2 combination right at the sound of the bell. McCreary comes back and is just comboing off now. Ramos. Not much happening here. Very even last round. This could be important in scoring. And it looks like it's another McCreary round. And a very easy win there for Gabriel McCreary, who, between both these fighters, I would say it's not surprising that McCreary is the more impressive and won the fight. But Ramos maybe is just a little funner to spend those XP points on. I'm just going to be sitting here spending Gabriel McCreary on takes punishment. And having low takes punishment is the entire reason why Gabriel McCreary has 2 losses and why this was a good fight. He has to fight extremely well not to get damaged. He's always teetering into those yellow and oranges even when he doesn't do that bad, even when he's fighting very well, because that 4 takes punishment is genuinely kind of debilitating. And I don't know, we're just going to have to train it out. We're going to have to make him tough, I guess. So this should be a fun title fight here, probably to end the episode. Hans-Joachim Gebhardt versus Joe Hoon. So one more title fight here between Hans-Joachim Gebhardt and Joe Hoon. I think we've watched a Gebhardt fight before. Joe Hoon looks like a slightly better fighter, though. Another fighter with great hands and high aggression. Options, let's go for fastest. 12-rounder, WBC IBF. Gebhardt with an impressive round 1 win. Another winner round 2. Can Hoon get into the fight? It doesn't seem like it. 3-0 is not good. You got to win that third round, and he didn't. He does win 4 and 5, arguably, though, and wins round 6, and now Gebhardt's back against the ropes. Hoon showing his resiliency, showing his supremacy here. That's a big round. It's another big round. Gebhardt is going to have to use that last of his energy to get in. And he does. He makes it a scrap of a round, but unfortunately, Hoon, that just lets Hoon trade. And in trading, Hoon lands big shots and TKOs Gebhardt, who's had enough punishment in the eyes of the ref, and I don't necessarily disagree. And new WBC IBF World Super Welterweight title holder, Joe Hoon. Can't wait to do one for our fighter, man. I'm going to put everything into it when our fighter wins one. Imagine if Tony Seals or David Flores or Anthony Rios, any of these guys win the chip. Lamont Williams. Maybe not, but you know what I mean. One of these days, one of our fighters, Max Rice especially, I'll go crazy if Max Rice wins a championship. I will just go off on that announcement. Put my soul into that. Put my soul into that announcement. All right, let's do some scouting and then let's end the episode. We've got one spot to fill at MC Promotions. Here, Darius Mitchell from New York, New York. 9 ring IQ, 19 aggression, 16 punching accuracy, 19 punching power, 20 defense, 20 stamina, 16 dedication. I don't like the 7 intelligence, but at least we can level up his ring IQ. His chin isn't great either, but New York, baby. Home is where the heart at. Take a 5 fight. Darius Mitchell, welcome to the team. So Dennis Robinson is a new welterweight amateur, 15 years old from New York, New York. 5'9" southpaw, 75-inch reach. We're going to sign him up as a new amateur. And we also see Jesus Cardo is 3-2 in his amateur career, and Gervonta Williams is 5-2. Heavyweights, I'm guessing, dude, fighting heavyweight has got to be hard at any weight class. There's just more losses at heavyweight. And, we'll see when it's finally time for them to go pro what we've actually got in those guys. I'm still, my expectations aren't necessarily tempered for them. Austin Flores, the North American Junior Champion from Amityville, New York. Also a southpaw, also tall, good record. I don't like the attributes, but you know what? He's the North American Champion, and he's from our state, so let's get him in too. And we've also got a more impressive 5-1 record now to look at on our amateur screen. More importantly, that's what's really important. How good of a record can we look at when we go on our amateur screen? That's what's really important when we sign amateur fighters. Look at the middleweights. Oh, I remember Rico Hartman. This guy's a freak. I wanted to sign this guy too. 6'2" with an 83.7-inch reach at middleweight. Let's sign this guy. And once again, we don't have the influence points to sign him. Do we have the influence points to sign anybody? Let's just see here. Let's do light heavyweights. Pick some random guy. Wait. Light heavyweight, North American. Light heavyweight. No. Tony Ali. It's pretty small for a light heavyweight. That must mean he's good, though. It's clearly good if he's 5'11" and actually holding his own at light heavyweight. Max Nieves. Good mental, good power and aggression from Massachusetts. Let's try to sign this guy. Another heavyweight. No, we can't sign him. All right. So we're done in amateur fighters, and that's going to be it for the episode. Had a lot of fun. Next week, we've got a couple weeks, we've got a world heavyweight title fight between Deshaun Keys, who we've discussed, and this new German heavyweight. Lots of great German fighters in the save so far, and Haiwo Novak. That'll be fun. And we're immediately going to schedule a new event as soon as this episode starts, and we're going to get our new fighter, Darius Mitchell, his first fight, and get a look at him, a guy who may be a contender and a champion in the future. So keep tuning in to these Boxing Manager episodes and keep a lookout for all the other gaming content on the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Peace out.